Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the show today. Of course, today is but maybe it will be episode 13 of Imperious, but however it works out, glad to have you here. Hopefully, you all had yourself a good Labor Day and a good weekend. And finally, my typhoon has passed, and it's a beautiful sunny day out. It's a bit hot though, but I got an air conditioner and a fan, and my dog is very happy too. He's German, so he doesn't care for this freaking tropical heat either. But
No,
yeah,
your
yeah,
dog says nine, nine.
999,
Let's
yeah, and
there you go.
my dog is racist, just so you know. You know, but anyway, happy to have you here. I'm going to go over and hit that like and share button. Hopefully, you guys will do the same. But let's say hello to who's here anyway. We heard him speak up already. It's the amazing Bill. Hi, Bill.
Hi, Bill. Hi, hi. How you doing? I'm doing great. I had a good Labor Day. Went and visited my daughter up at college. Spent the weekend hanging out with her.
Nice.
So that was always fun. And then yeah, then I someone hit and ran my car in a parking lot. So
Hmm.
that's cost me $500 deductible. That's kind of put me in a foul mood. So,
Yeah. Well.
but I'm okay now. I'm okay now. I got over it.
Well, at least it wasn't me.
That's you're the only one I can't blame.
That's right.
Fuck you, GOP. Um,
Mhm. You
no,
know,
and everybody else.
And everybody else, yeah, yeah. No, it sucks when that happens, but yeah, it sucks when that happens. But luckily here, that would I could never imagine that happening here.
Right? Well, yeah, you think you'd feel bad about it, but I
Yeah.
mean, if you have insurance, I mean, come on, that's what it's there for. You freaking already paid for it for hitting someone else's car. Just deal with it.
Right. Well,
mm,
I actually have scratched a bumper in my life. It was a long time ago, but I did do that, and I went in and talked to because it was in there was only one store there. I think it was down the south, and some it was a grocery store. It had a pig. Um,
Pig-
Piggly Wiggly.
Piggly Wiggly. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yep,
It was a
Piggly
stupid
Wiggly.
name. Yeah.
Yep,
But
yeah, really stupid.
a really stupid name.
it was a real chain.
And
Yeah,
I went in and they called over the intercom and the person was like, "Eh, don't worry about it. It was already beat up and scratched truck anyway." But yeah, no, it's just take responsibility. So in my life, I've actually had to own up to something like that before.
I
But
did it once too. I think it was had my permit. So this was like what I don't know, 14, 15, 14 and a half, 15 and a half, something like that.
hmm,
And I turned, I turned in the wrong way into a parking spot. They're all angled instead of being straight on, and you want to go with the flow of traffic. Well, I thought I could whip in real quick, and my mom who's riding shotgun was like, "Nope, nope, don't," and then man, I hit the car. She's like, "Oh, Bill."
yeah, yeah.
That's all she said, and we just went into the store and found the person, and
Sure. Well, I mean, that's the
she
age you do
handled it.
those kind of things, right? It's when you're young,
Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, just own up to it. I mean, just take responsibility. Oh well. But
yeah.
I am glad though because I have a car now. Well, any car, of course, is precious to you. But the car I have now, I would be very irked. Very.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But I've noticed that many times when I come out to my car, there's not cars around it.
You have
I
a car?
I do have a very nice car. Yes.
You allowed
Um,
to have cars in Japan? I don't know that.
Well, why would
I have
I don't know.
different vehicles for different things, but my main day-to-day car is a Honda ST.
What year?
2020.
I like this guy even more now.
Yeah. Well, dude. I mean, dude, that car is freaking phenomenal. I mean, I have tried to kick the tail out on that and of course Japan has the windiest mountains you can find, right? And I've tried to kick that tail out and I can't, dude. It just glues itself to the road. Yeah, so of course it's a street racer. It's not intended for drifting and stuff like that anyway. But I just can't believe how absolutely insane the road suction on those cars are. I mean, and I'm talking at speed. I mean, like, I'll take this mountain here like 60 miles an hour, and it just will not kick the tail out. It's like a freaking railroad track, man.
Yo, GOP, we all know all about railroad tracks, right, buddy?
We do indeed.
Well, what do you guys drive? But Bill, what do you got?
Oh, I have a Malibu, Chevy Malibu.
Chevy Malibu. Ooh, going classic.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I've got to get a new car. I've got 215,000 on this one, but it's still going.
You
It's
could just
just
refurbish it. Yeah.
I could, yeah. It's just the body's wearing out. The interior is getting 215,000 miles.
Well, if I was in
So
this, if I was in the States, I'd buy my wife a new car because whatever. But me, I would never buy a new car in the States. I'd always have an older car. I only get brand new cars here because of where I live, right? And the system
well,
they
I
have here. So,
well I buy yeah. I mean, I picked this one because I want to be spending a lot. I was spending a lot of time on the road
mm.
for a while. So this is the Malibu. I mean, if you just maintain it, I can get another 90,000 miles out of it easy.
Oh yeah, man, you
So
could just do a
yeah,
complete engine overhaul and get more out of it. How about you,
you
GOP?
could.
What are you driving, man?
An Impala.
An Impala.
Yeah, there we
Nice.
go.
There we go. There we go. That's nice, dude. And what about you, Tower? What are you driving?
Uh, that's a great question. I have way more than one. 2006 Ford F-250 Lariat, 2020 Kawasaki Ninja 400 KRT, 2014 Honda CRF 250L dirt bike,
Yeah, but your
1996
day-to-day car,
Davis.
dude. Which is your day-to-day?
It'd honestly be a three-way split between the dirt bike, the Ninja, and the F-250.
Oh, fair
But I'm
enough.
selling the F-250 in 2-3 months. Have you seen the new redesign of the GMC Canyons, Chevy Colorados, the midsize?
I have not. No.
If you look up the new 2023 GMC Canyon, I'm most likely going to be buying the AT4 model. So I'm just waiting until they start. They're going to start building them the first of the year. Yeah, I've already got like 10 grand. I'm gonna do 20-ish down. So, eh.
Well, I have a truck. Would you
Yeah,
like to see it? I'll find a picture for you.
I'd love to see a picture for you. What kind of truck is it? Is it like
Uh,
a Suzuki truck?
I have
An Isuzu?
I have one of these. Let me copy the image. I'll drop it over in the Discord. And I use it for moving stuff around the property and stuff like that. Well, how do I do? Just paste it, right? Yeah, there we go. Easy enough. There you go. I got that.
What?
Ooh, sexy.
Oh, it is an Isuzu, isn't it?
No, it's I have a Daihatsu, but Suzuki makes stuff as well. And I
Dude, that's
also have one of these.
And put a little some
dude.
flame decals on the side.
They don't sell them in the states. I'm pretty sure.
No, they don't. They don't. Yeah, that's true. I have one of these
Step
as
over-
well.
Dude, you have to step over the wheel to get into the
Oh,
door.
dude, it's like I'm wearing a backpack. It's hilarious. Yeah, yeah. It's so small. I got one of these too, like a panel side truck.
You have two. How many vehicles do you have?
How many vehicles do I have? Let's see.
All the vehicles in that parking lot, that's all
Six, I
his.
guess. Six.
Dude, that truck would be badass. Here, actually, I'll post on Discord, Chester. That is the truck I'll be buying.
Oh, okay, yeah, cool. That looks cool. Yeah,
There's
nice.
the truck that I drive.
Oh yeah, I had one of these when I was a kid. Yeah, well, something like this when I was a kid. I used to love driving that thing around. But back in those days, I would actually take time to do tire swaps, and I mean, I used to love working on vehicles when I was young. I don't do it much anymore. Another thing I
Uh,
bought that I have on property that I absolutely love. Let me. I don't know if you guys have probably played with this, but um, let's see if I find a picture of similar to the one I have.
all of my toys. You can see my Ninja, my dirt bike, my jet ski, and a little bit of my truck in the background. The boat's not mine though.
Mm. Well, this isn't exactly it, but it's similar. It's very similar.
I
This
love those box trucks, so that thing is sweet.
it
How
is
long is
super handy using it around the property, dude. It really, really is. But I have one I bought. This I think is a John Deere, but the one I have is what is that? It's the Kubota, I think. Yeah,
Oh,
I
Kubota.
yeah I have one of those. But this right here, I love. You guys ever play around with these things?
Oh, an excavator.
Yeah, and I love this thing, dude. Of course, I don't use it mostly the dudes use it. But I'm making a lake.
Chester, how much money do you have
Enough.
Don't ask questions.
where you can casually build a lake?
Not casually. It's a lot of work. I had to
Yeah.
make my own construction company to do that. Thank you very much.
hmm Chester is what we like to call here in the States a supervillain. So he's
What?
building a lair.
But no,
uh,
actually, I'm really happy with all the work and stuff, and I got the of course with it's been in the water for a while now, but I had during the late fall and the winter I did a refurb on the boat, and yeah, everything's cool, dude. I can show you my boat. You want to see my boat?
A
yeah, let's see the boat.
lot of this guy.
I just, I just hope there's somebody watching in the chat and just not on the Discord, so they have no idea what we're talking about.
Hmm.
Chester's showing us photos of hot women, guys.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep,
That's all I'm doing. There we go.
they're gorgeous and you can't see them. Sorry, you should be in the Discord. We should.
You
Yeah,
should.
join the Discord. Link will be in the
Hey, we
description.
got lady in here.
Lady!
Here you go. And actually, I put a very similar paint job to this on here. It's not exactly, but
Thank God you're here. Oh my gosh.
there you go.
Okay,
We
guys.
weren't we weren't killing time in your absence. Don't worry
No,
about
we're
it.
having fun though. But yeah, I got her totally got rigging totally done out. I put a new Yanmar engine in it. I put new decking on it. I redid the interior completely. I put a new refrigerator in it too. And
Hmm.
put a new gel coat on it as well. I didn't do that though. I had someone do that. I just screw that
Dude,
painting nonsense.
Chester is loaded.
Yeah, no, it's a nice
Hmm.
boat, dude. Yeah.
It's very
Dude,
nice.
this guy, you have like casually have two little work trucks. You're building a lake, excavators, a fucking yacht boat. Well, it's a sailboat, but
It's a sail. It's a sailboat, and keep in mind this is a 1991 Swan 64. I mean, it's not like it's brand new.
But
Uh,
a ton of money to even get into that kind of shit here in the States.
that cost $80,000.
you know, here's the thing though. He needs to build the lake because where else is he going to put his boat?
Well, no, the boat
He
True.
is
wants
in
to
the
have his
dock.
own space.
You
Well,
know,
I'm just saying, now you have your own space where you can just put the boat out wherever you want, whenever you want. You don't have to worry. It's just on
Now
your.
we're cooking with fire, guys.
yeah, I think that I would be able to sail because that lake, when it's done, will be about almost 200 yards long.
Well, I mean, I don't know. You could extend it.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Of course, now that I got her all refit and ready to go, I have to next season, maybe February, I'm going to be getting in the water and sailing across the Indian Ocean.
Hmm. Sounds like a pretty big voyage. What's your end point?
Well, I bought property in Malta, yeah. So I'm going to be
Ah,
that's going to be my sailing space. But I got to bring the boat over. I could hire someone to do it, but god damn it, that's expensive. So I'll just do it myself, and it's a good chance to see if the wife likes long distance sailing. Because I'd love to circumnavigate. And if I get the Indian leg in with her and she's okay with that, then maybe a year or so later I'll do the Atlantic passage, and then a year or so after that I'll do the Pacific passage. So I really want to circumnavigate, but February, November, I doubt I'll make Malta in that period. I doubt it. So I'll have to winter somewhere. I'll have to make a decision on where I want to winter. It depends on how far we get, because it depends on her. If she's wanting to stop in every damn port and get in a hotel every now and then, well, shit, I'm not going to make that run. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it just depends on her and what she can handle. Because I grew up on sailing boats, so I mean, it's my, I'm well adapted to it. But you never know. In that period, what is that? 10 months. If I really leg it, I mean, if I leg it, I maybe could make Malta. Ooh, maybe, maybe. I doubt it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to winter somewhere, and I'll have to make that decision maybe on the west coast of India or something like that.
Hmm. Well,
Okay,
best of luck on
working
that
now?
journey. Yeah, we hear you. Hey.
All right.
Anyway,
Welcome to Canada.
Life is such buzz.
a dream,
Oh no, I'm just a buzz.
just a buzz.
My
Oh,
head is
well, goodness
buzzing.
gracious. Okay.
My head is buzzing.
Well, that's what whiskey does, lady.
Oh, I
Oh,
tried fucking Tito's last night until everything was slow enough that I could turn my head and I could see the light streaks. It was great.
Wow. Yeah, I don't do drugs.
I know it was just alcohol. It was
Yeah,
just a lot of alcohol.
it's a drug though. And
Oh.
here, as I sit and smoke a cigarette and drink coffee, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
At least drink a cigar, man. Have some class.
I'll get cigars sometimes. I have a couple of friends here that are really, really into cigars. So I'll smoke one occasionally, but it's not my thing really. But nevertheless, I think we certainly killed enough time. We got Lady in here. Hello, nice to have you. So let me go ahead and bring all this back up, and of course, you guys keep an eye on the chat for me, and we get into it. You guys ready?
Oh
Weird
yeah.
All right.
dolphin.
Well, let's do that. Of course, today we're continuing with episode 13 of Imperious. And let me go ahead and bring that up so everyone can see it full screen. There you go. And we've been having fun with this, and we are on a distant planet, of course. We spent a lot of our earlier episodes, of course, on the planet of Trans Aegis, being as these guys were ex-legionnaires who are trying to make a go of it together. But they are doing their own thing on the planet of Lamstat 3. And they have found some interesting things to interact with, and particularly I tried to think of a name, so I just probably not a good name, but they're at the Wormwood base, hint hint, wink wink, and they've actually bought property here. They
Oh, you're
are
gonna. Yeah, we have. Sorry, I thought you were gonna call it the excavation station.
no, I nixed that almost immediately. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, but anyway, they have bought property
Green.
here because one of the things that's coming out of this station is starting to affect the system. These guys are in Sector 7, I do believe, is where we put you, right? And you were here initially just kind of checking things out because they do work for the IIA, which is kind of the Imperium's, NSA type of thing. And they're kind of looking for, oh, there's a lot of magical activity going over here with artifacts and such. And some of those artifacts are actually starting to come out of Wormwood Base in the form of 0 point energy or modules or Z cells. And they've gotten into that business. So it's definitely true. And that there's certainly some activity going here. But nevertheless, we're going to actually run a straight up linear module today that I've put together. So we'll go ahead and we'll get into that. Unless you guys have anything you want to say or do before we start, I'll just go.
Can I kill them with the afterburners?
No.
And let's go.
All right.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm gonna kill some with the
um,
afterburners. Maybe.
you guys have spent what, a month or 6 weeks, I think, here, and during that time, Bill has, and of course with you guys helping, he's set up the shop, and he's been adapting. I think you were working on adapting the Red Hunter, weren't you?
Yes. So, I had taken, well, I can't remember the weeks. Well, I was just flipping to that page, but um, the Red Hunter's been adapted, as well as a charging station.
Hmm.
And then I was working on the, like, I think it was 500 or 250. Where is that? Uh, 500 MTZ cells that I had.
All right, yeah,
So
what you guys would do those as well. That's right. You had the Z cells, 500 of those, which was a nice find. But as far as the vehicle goes, the spaceship, the converting over to a Z energy system, fuel system, which you did, increases the speed by 1.5, right? Uh,
right,
so
so we're up
uh,
to three,
you're up to
I believe.
3. Well, a little bit
Yeah.
less than 3, I think. A slight like it would be 2.7, I think. But around for sanity's sake, we'll
Oh,
say that.
oh, okay. Yeah, no, we had 1.3. Yeah, that's what we were at.
So
Okay.
you're at 2.8. But
Yeah.
okay, but well, 3 is close enough. Let's say that you did something special and put it up to 3. That's much easier math. But you guys are fast. Now you know because you've been talking to the engineers and on the forums, and especially talking here, Bill, that your ship is not the fastest thing in space right now. It's not, but
No,
it's faster
no.
than 99% of everything out there. But so it is very, very impressive and very useful for you guys. But while you guys are doing that, and you had Tower Out was doing some surveying, and he did find a little kind of dusty pyramid that he barely noticed peeking out of the undergrowth. You do have that, and you marked that on the map, and you guys are kind of talking about it. But more importantly, something that comes out of Lady. Lady.
Oh,
Lady,
Yes.
are you there?
Yes.
Oh, there you are. Good, good. Now,
Yes.
during this whole time, Lady has been over working in the hospital, and being as this is a mining colony, there are plenty of injuries to be dealt with. And she's, been they're very happy to have her, and she's settled in there pretty well. She knows everybody now, and she's a part of the staff, as it were. But Lady, the past week, you guys have been getting a lot of people coming in with very strange rashes and burns, and which is different when usually you guys get like broken hands or broken arms or things like this. You get the kind of mining injury, but this is different. And initially, the staff at the hospital, including yourself, were thinking it was some kind of radiation based damage. But the testing is coming back unconfirmed, and it's confusing to all of you what's going on. Because it certainly looks like some kind of radiation burning that's going on, and you guys were able to treat it in that way. But the tests are not confirming it as radiation. So you're a bit confused on it. And then yesterday, as you are sitting in there, you're helping a guy, and there's this miner, and he's kind of going on talking to another miner across from him as you're treating his wounds, and this guy has these radiation burns as well. And he's talking about how Mr. Miller, has been talking about they need to bring it up to a council. This is ridiculous. We can't dig in there in the sector they're talking about is in the which is called the Argon Drop. Is where this is all these injuries are coming out of that mining section. We got to do something about it. We got to shut that down. The other guy's like, no, yeah, but we're pulling so much good stuff out of there, and they're kind of, they're not arguing, but they're having a debate amongst themselves what should be said. And it seems like there's this guy, this a miner over there named Mr. Miller. that is leading up a group of people who really wants to bring to the council and complain about something needs to be done. There seems to be a growing brouhaha in regards to the argon drop. You've heard this, and this is the first bit of direct information you have gotten, lady, in regards to what strangeness might be going on over there.
Okay, that's not part of this pyramid, or is
No,
it?
it's actually a good 20 miles away from here. But it is part of the pyramid, though, the pyramid system. But it's not here in this structure. No, it's in the mining area.
Right.
And
20
this strikes you
miles.
as very, 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 very super, very interesting.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I will start right off with a GM incursion. It's unbelievably interesting to you. Would you like to stop me from giving you this? You can spend an
No,
XP if you'd like. Okay, so
no.
take an experience point and give one to someone else.
Oh, it's just the first of the day.
It
You talked
is.
bad about me earlier.
It was definitely Tower and GOP and Bill. Not me though.
Well, can't give it to the DM,
You can.
so I'll give it to Bill.
Okay. Aw, Bill.
No, you give it to me.
Only because I have to give a reason, right? All because he's the only one that sent me a message privately.
Yeah,
Aw.
Hey, we're missing you.
Aw. You are very
Thank you.
curious about this lady. So you probably, because you're so curious, you really got to talk to the others about it, I would say.
Oh yeah, when I got back to home base that evening, we're divvying up the food, and everything. He says there's something interesting going on about 20 miles out called argon drop. There's a lot of describe the types of burns, and everyone thinks it's radiation, but the tests are not coming out back correct. And they got the most advanced medical stuff there, right?
They do.
Equipment.
It's actually pretty impressive. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they got some good equipment, but it's coming back. They don't know.
Yeah.
It might be something that our bosses might want to know about. We might want to go check it out.
Okay. Well, what can we do? Let's see. To assist an organization would be character arc. So
Yeah.
we could start. We could start that.
You could, and that's something to keep in mind, guys. Now, of course, even though you have that property, you've only worked out one section of it, the Z Cell business. So you guys are still living aboard the Red Hunter, which is fine. You actually bought a slip as well. That's another thing you purchased. Keep that in mind. Yes, you need to think about your character arcs. And mentioning that, thank you, Bill. Let's kind of go through and see what you guys are running. GOP, what do you got for character arcs right now? What are you running?
Pull that up. So I should still have the establishment, which I only have the last part. I basically have to get like a property and like do like a party or something. Um, and then what else did I have on here? I've got my main arc that we're probably not going to do anything with. The one with like the daughter of the senator. Um, and but everything else I think we finished. So I've got two essentially.
So you have one and like one last little bit on one. Okay, so it would, especially seeing as it's going to be a little while till we could get to the senator thing. It wouldn't be the worst idea for you to spend an XP and pick up another character arc, would it? Tower, what do you got for character arcs right now?
My main one was building an armada.
Right, right. Which you've
And,
already begun that. So
yes, and pretty sure one of them was establishing a base of command, which
you
we
guys
did
have
that a
kind
while.
of started, haven't you? Yeah.
Those are the two big ones.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying you might want to think about, because just costs one experience point to start a character arc, and those can bring in a lot of XP when you complete them. So keep that in mind. How about you, Bill? What are you running right now?
Well, that's one thing I was forgot to mention pre-show, but all last episode would have fit into Enterprise.
What 100%? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I thought I could burn the XP retroactively and then cash in on Enterprise. So I mean, I'd spend one and would I get three
Well,
on
whatever it
that?
is. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That? Well, then hell yeah, I'm doing that.
And we had GOP was there. I mean, we were all kind of working on that one. I don't want to
Yeah,
think
we were all kind of working on that one.
So if everyone drops an XP and then picks up three, would that be acceptable?
Yeah,
Acceptable
sure.
for
Everyone can take 2 XP. Just gain 2 XP. Just make it simple.
just
Yeah,
gain two? Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Then I had explore for to get to this area, and we all had that one.
We did.
Uh,
I thought we finished that though.
did we
Yeah,
finish
I'm pretty
explore?
sure you guys finished that. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I have the mutant revolution, which is a multi-tiered one, and who
Which
knows
is
if
your
we
big
finish
one.
it.
Yeah,
So
I get that.
I'm gonna, but then I'd like to start system organization right now, and that one set out. Opening is respond to a call. You work out all the details of what's expected of you and what rewards, if any, you might get. You also get the specific of what's required to join in advance. So that would be part of the community. Would be joining the community. I mean, we're new to the community. We set up. We've established some rapport with one corporation, and we've still really haven't gotten too much about what's his name, Ildris Albelair.
Oh,
Hilburn.
the main guy, Hilburn. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Hilburn. We're still need to kind of get to know a little bit, but
Right, but you
I
guys
think
have bought properties. You're becoming part of the community, and of course, if you go out and do something to help the community, wink, wink, wink,
yeah.
you that's only going to help, right? Yeah.
So then our next thing would be, you know, understand what's expected, understand the specifics of what this task is, and that would, and then the next step would be sizing up the task and do a recon or an investigation. That'd be step two for another XP
Oh well.
once we complete that. So we'd have one for, we'd basically stay even Steven because we'd get one for opening up, right? Burn one, save, get one, whatever, even Steven. And then let's see what we can do to help out. Let's go talk to Hilburn and let him know about a little bit of what we're capable of, and or if Hilburn's the one to talk to. That's what I think we need to find out too.
Well, you know that
So
there are two people who own like what did I say? 60% of this is controlled by two people. Hilburn
Yeah.
yeah,
and what was the other guy name? The big fat guy's name. Um, because I
I
haven't
had
even
it
put him
written.
in here yet. I got to put him in. It was something like
Bowman,
huh?
Bowman Enterprises, Mr. Bowman.
Bowman,
Yeah.
Mr. Bowman. Yeah, I got to put him in
Yeah.
here. But those are the big hitters. Just from your interactions that you've had so far, Bowman seems a bit sleazy, and Hilburn seems a bit more entrepreneurial. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's not a bad idea. You guys might want to take that before we get into today's adventure. And just keep in mind, this is with the character arc stuff is where you get a lot of your XP. You guys need to manage that. I can't do that for you, right? That is
I
something
keep
you need to manage. Yeah. And,
Copy, dude.
yeah. And well, what do you?
I'm on it, man. I'm all over it.
I
We
know
normally
you
just
are.
got 3 though, right?
Uh,
You
uh,
give us a maximum number of 3 at a time,
I
correct?
think I think the game said 3, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
So
Yeah.
what are you running right now, lady?
Running to assist the sister organization, training a pet, and
Mhm.
we just got through the exploring, so I
Yeah,
got
no,
one
I'd
to
say
pick up
that's
soon.
done. So you have a slot open.
Yeah,
So you guys might want to take what Bill's talking about for today's adventure would make a lot of sense actually. I know the
assist the
only
organization.
well the
yeah.
only alteration to it would be the interacting with Hilburn, which I hadn't put into the campaign, but that will it wouldn't hurt.
No, it's page 242, players, so you can all scope it out if you're
Yeah.
not there already.
So yeah, that's
Wait, you said
probably
page 242?
242. Yeah, if you guys have an open slot, you might want to think about taking it. That's for today is probably not a bad idea because you do need to kind of micromanage how you're getting your experience points in order to level, right? Because during the game, I can only really give out, like 3 during the game unless something extraordinary happens. So I don't really have a lot of control on giving out XP in this game, which is interesting. That's kind of unique, you ask me, actually.
Thank you for that page number, Bill. I'm going to go through that one.
All right, so assistant organization. All right, well, I picked that up, and yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah. Anybody has room for it should probably take it. And therefore, I guess in that case, the first thing you need to do is talk to Hilburn, not Miller. But yeah, okay. So easy enough. Talk to Hilburn and then go talk to Miller. So, all right, everybody on board?
All right, yep, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. You need to go. You
Got
need
it.
to talk to Hilburn first, then.
He lives up on the wall.
He
in a way.
does. A lot of the richer people here live on the wall, because the wall of the pyramid, the inner wall of the pyramid, those things have. It's not 100%, but there's a, a lot of quote unquote potted landscaping going up there as well. It's quite pretty. Where most of the stuff inside here is very, industrial. But
Mhm.
Most of the wealthier people have properties up there. Hilburn, of course, does as well. Although that's not necessarily where you have to go to meet him. I mean, this guy you see moving around, he is an actual kind of hands-on administrator type of dude. So he's always involved with what's going on. Whereas Bowman, you only saw him the one time because you went to his office. Otherwise,
hmm
you've never seen them walking around and moving around at all. They're very different. Even they're just the guys who are and Bowman's wealthier than Hilburn is by far.
Mhm.
So,
Hilburn's is a lot more on the ground.
yeah, he is.
Kind
He's more of a he's kind of like the cattle rancher that the town built around. He's that kind of guy.
of. Mhm.
Yeah, actually, he's the one that came and meet us once we landed.
He did. That's right.
Yeah.
All
And
right,
and
well,
and keep in mind, this is definitely a very loose federation that's going on here, and that's by design, right? Because in general, they don't want to interfere with people. There's so much for everyone. There's no reason to be, greedy. There's just no reason. There's not enough. There's not you. This place could handle 1,000 times the number of people and still be productive. So it's no reason to be greedy. But it's gotten big enough that they needed to police themselves a bit, and that's why the council came together.
All
all
right.
right.
It's best not to let them know where we learned about. We just heard it at the bar
Well, I mean,
about.
I don't know why it would matter where you heard it from, but okay.
It's called privacy of medical information. They don't have it in
Oh,
this
no,
world.
that's no. Well, they wouldn't have it here, no. But no,
Yeah.
no, that's a fair point. If she's thinking that way, then cool, do that. You don't
Oh,
even have to
you're
tell them where you heard it from,
Yeah.
What are the HIPAA laws on this base?
right? Right. But no, she's a medical minded person. It makes sense.
That's
Um,
true.
so you guys go and you kind of looking around to where Hilburn is, and it's mid morning, and it's very easy to find him. He's on the main promenade, and he's having a conversation with a bunch of miners about something as you guys approach. Um, he has a couple assistants that are with him all the time, and one of them we'll call her Sheila because why not? And she sees you standing and waiting, and she comes over and says, "Did you want to talk to Mr. Hilburn today?"
Morning, Sheila. Good day. Sorry.
Right?
Um,
Are you like, what are you doing?
no, if yes, if if he could spare some time, that would be great. We appreciate it.
Oh, okay. I'll let him know. You know, it only takes a few minutes because he's kind of already at the end of the conversation anyway. And when he's done, he turns around and Sheila whispers in his ear, and he comes over to you. He says, "Well, seems you guys are moving along very quickly. I've seen you bought a couple of properties, and you're getting involved in this new Z cell energy. Well, that's going to change things, huh? Glad to see you guys are being involved in being entrepreneurs. How can I help you?"
Yeah, the Z energy is going to change the face of the galaxy. This is incredible. Opportunities all over this place.
Hmm.
And I've just noticed everyone here is in a pretty good mood. You know, they don't see any scrapping or other kinds of things we've run into in mining colonies before.
Well, it's abundance for everyone. Why wouldn't there be?
Well, there's one thing that was kind of a concern that we've heard about, and we wanted to see if we could help out. This place has been great to us, and we want to give back.
Oh, well,
Um,
absolutely. What is that?
some of the well, it's a physical malady we've been hearing. Some radiation burns that people have been getting. If you run in, uh, I'm sorry, maybe Mercedes can probably explain it better. She's more knowledgeable about this stuff. I'm good with wrenches.
He says, "Well, yeah, no, please tell me. I have heard something, but not so much. Please, Mercedes, tell me what you've heard."
Um, some miners from the area of Argon Drop have been showing up a lot lately in the medical facility.
Hmm.
We are kind of problem solvers, you might say, and we'd like to see if we can offer a chance to go solve this problem, if it's solvable, that is.
Well, I mean, he says, "Of course, that's great, and we're very happy that you've joined the hospital here. We need all the help we can get with that. But you know, we see radiation damage from time to time. I mean, our technology it is what it is. You know."
Who's all members of the council?
I'm sorry, what?
Who's all members of the council? I didn't know there was even a council here.
Oh no, I said, way back when you first met him, he represented the
Remember?
council. He said, yeah.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I haven't created them yet. But he lists off a few names.
Um, miners are very concerned that they should bring this attention to the council before they got wind of it. We thought we might go investigate it. Therefore, when it's brought to you, because the miners are getting very disturbed about this, this can lead down a road where things will not run as smoothly here when the miners get historically. If you've ever read his histories, that generally when something is happening and the upper echelon doesn't know about it, things get to a boiling point and blow up, shall we say.
Oh no, I
And
agree 100%. And
before
thank.
things get that bad, we thought we might offer our talents to the council and go investigate this.
Oh well, I appreciate
Therefore,
that.
y'all would
And
know.
he has two questions for you, lady. One is, he's a little bit baffled because, radiation sickness and radiation stuff happens from time to time because of the technology you guys use. What I'm trying to say, lady, is you haven't specified that this is something different. You haven't told him that. One,
Well,
and well, no, just let
all
me
the
let me
okay.
finish.
Go ahead.
And
Go ahead.
two, he doesn't know who you are at all. You're just
You know
people
what
as
to
far
tell
as
us.
he's concerned. He doesn't know about
It-
your talents, and two of you already mentioned talents. So in his brain, he's like, "What talents?
I
hmm.
thought I was playing really damn good there, sir.
What was that, Tower?"
I don't fly his planes very well.
Well, he doesn't
That's all he
know.
does.
Now he
Oh,
knows.
The whole
Well,
thing
okay.
is that if it
Or
was
let
normally
lady handle it. Let lady handle it.
radiation,
Yeah,
when
go ahead,
it's
lady.
normal radiation, sir, the machines would be able to identify it. This, it cannot.
So it's
So
not
it's either
normal,
correct.
huh? Well, we definitely should look into that then. We do
So
come
we should
across
put
some very odd
a
things
hole in the,
here.
true.
Huh. And in regards to his second query,
I'll
What's the second question
I'll
again?
I'll pull my finger, put my one of my hands up, put it on my neck, and pull down my collar a little bit. They'll see my Legionnaire barcode.
Once a
ah,
Legionnaire.
quartermaster.
Once a Legionnaire, she said.
I see. So you're legionnaires, and that's not completely surprising to him because there are plenty of them here. But it's not
And
Mhm.
all.
we're
There's
not
plenty
with
of
any
normal
kind of
people as well.
military people. We are civilians now, but we stuck together because we were good at it.
Now as he actually takes a step forward, Bill, and he leans in and he looks at it much closer because these brands, these tattoos that you guys have are quite detailed in their information. And as he does, everyone give me a spot.
That's a D4, right? What do you want me to roll?
The challenge rating 3, I guess. Why not? Seems to be pretty standard in this game.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but I haven't rolled in a while. It's how many D4 again?
Everything's a 20, buddy.
Everything's
Yeah, it's a
D20. We're playing.
20, and you
Oh
have to
shit!
take any of the skills or assets that you have, Tower, to reduce my number I just gave you, which is a 3. So if you have something specific for
Here's
a skill
9.
for seeing and noticing things, that would lower it 1 or 2 if you're specialized in it. And if you have any kind of special asset that allows you to see things, that would lower it further. You can also expend effort, which cost off of your pool. Which actually brings me to the one critique, because I actually love this
Telepathy.
system. I do love it. I think it's awesome. It's so easy. It's so easy to bring anybody in and play, right? But the one critique I have so far about this system is that the effort system doesn't work in the role playing setting. It only works in a combat setting, right? Because you guys,
Well,
why wouldn't you burn all the effort you want if you're going to do something tomorrow, right?
What
I mean,
challenge is it? What challenge is it again?
it's a 3. It's easy. It's an easy challenge.
and also you get one ease because my lead by inquiry ability gives you basically uh, perception. So you got a plus 3
That's
Right there.
perception.
So
2.
just everyone roll a 20 sider and tell them what you got.
I got a
All right.
20.
Okay.
I rolled a 3, so I don't think I have any extra
Well,
perception
Sheila
skills.
is badass, dude. Badass though is basically what's in
Yeah.
your mind. Lady.
Oh, yeah. I rolled a 7.
Oh, okay. That's probably enough with his thing. That definitely is enough.
Yeah,
Bill.
they're good.
I rolled a 7 also, and I have got with his thing. I have 3 shifts, which made it an
So
auto.
you didn't have to roll at all.
I know
So
exactly what he's looking at, why he's
yeah.
looking, and
GOP is the only one, and he's just because Sheila is a hottie. She is a hottie. It is what it is, GOP. But the rest of you notice as he's looking at yours very specifically, as he leans in, he's got a tattoo on his neck as well. And
Don't
his
tell me
is
it's
his is
Ravens.
the 120th Legion, which is nothing special, just a normal Legionnaire. But he did have he does have the rank of Centurion,
okay,
which is pretty. I mean, it's not, there's stuff above that, of course there is, but centurions are kind of the heart and soul of the legion, right? They're the ones that make everything run. They're kind of, if you took a sergeant and a captain and somehow glued it together, is what a centurion is. So this dude is, it takes time to get that rank as well. Now he's human, so it's easier for him to do it than a mutant, but still,
yeah,
you would respect that rank because you earn that. A legate, you could simply be a rich kid and just be given a legate legacy automatically. You know that.
right.
But a
They
centurion,
go
now
they go to
you earn that
military
shit.
school and come out
Right,
legates,
right.
kind of,
The
or
centurions
officers,
earn that
right?
shit. So, so anyway, so you automatically would have respect for that just in and of itself. But he looks at yours and he says, "Ah, you guys are recon."
That's right, sir.
Oh, I
I s
see. Well, that is useful. Well, he looks over at Mercedes and he says, "I agree. If we have some kind of new unknown radiation, we need to get on that." We've been here for 7 years. And he's been here since day one, by the way. It's just kind of why he has so much ownership. He says we've run into a lot of weird stuff here. because of this ancient technology. You notice no one here uses the word alien, by the way, which is interesting. They all use the word ancient. There, of course, are a lot of aliens in here. It's not anywhere near a majority. It's a small minority, but you've seen more aliens walking around here than, well, you probably have in your whole life, aside from the battlefield, right? So
Right.
there's an interesting mix here. But he agrees 100%, and he says, uh, I would like to be kept up to date with that. And he looks over at Sheila and he says, "You got one of those tags on you?" And she says, "No, I don't think so." And then the other guy, he has another assistant with him all the time. It's this really kind of quiet, very pale man. He says, "I do, sir." And he has a very haughty type of accent. And he takes one out and he hands it over. And it's a square. It looks like a badge, but it's square. And he says, "Here." He hands it to the quartermaster. And he says that this right here will, it's not official, but it represents the council, and it probably will allow you to move around a little easier amongst the miners.
Who's got the claim over there?
Well, in the Argon drop, there are, it is owned by Bowman, but there's a lot of people working that claim. That one's deep.
Okay.
It's really deep. Be careful.
Bowman owns it, of course, and he's just leasing out.
Yeah, he just he leases out plots for
Okay.
people to dig, and he takes, what did I say before, 20% or something like that.
Is there any way to get a head count
Oh no,
of the
I
miners?
wouldn't know that. You'd have to talk to Bowman, and to be fair, the way it works around here, I doubt that would be accurate anyway.
Okay. Well, that's not worth it then.
Yeah.
I just want to get a general idea of the population over there.
Yeah.
Well,
Keep in mind, we don't really have law enforcement here per se. If things really got out of hand, we have a group of people that will help, but yeah, this is really loose around here. And like I
Well,
said, we don't really ever have any troubles. And once again, just to reiterate a little plot point I had put in before, it's very odd. Everyone's happy here.
yeah, I brought that up to him.
mhm.
Yeah, you did,
Yeah.
right?
Hey, they're being
well,
brainwashed like the Gorlath, like I was.
Yeah, you might want to do a scan on someone just to make sure, but
You could?
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
You do have Golgotha over here. But
well, I mean,
I don't
when
say
you
that
were
out loud.
working at the hospital,
I
did
had a
you have?
chance to probably do something, but as a
Well,
date,
I think we already
let's
had
hold
talked
on.
about
nothing.
this when I mentioned it, and lady had done
Uh,
exactly what you said, and she saw
oh,
nothing.
okay.
Yeah, we already
Oh,
kind of
okay. I
covered it.
missed that. Yeah.
Well, we're
Okay.
having this conversation with Hillman, or Hilburn, so we should
Hilburn,
wrap
yeah.
this up.
Yeah.
No, just from a recon perspective, just trying to know the assets,
Sure.
personnel,
No, he
that kind of
understands
thing.
that. Yeah, he understands. But it's just things are too loose here to be able to have any accuracy. Although that is not the busiest drop, because a lot of the mines here, the way you'll see here, I'll show you a picture here shortly. The way they mine is drop mining, not shaft mining. Right. Well, they'd have shafts
Okay.
off the walls, but they do kind of a drop mining here. And which you'll see in a moment. But
So
yeah,
then we would
it's hard to
know
know.
we'd know what kind of vehicle we need then, just from that information, what we're
Well,
taking over there.
he says you could certainly taking it to the base of the drop. You could use your smaller vehicle, which I've seen you guys using.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one we took into the what is it? Scavenging.
Yeah,
Salvaging.
Mhm.
That's sorry.
salvaging,
Salvage yard, what you had.
yeah, that thing will get into the drop, no problem, at least to the base of the drop. But as far as that as number of people, there are larger drops. But the Argon has been real busy the past months. There's a lot coming out of there. I think one of the people are pretty excited because they're pulling a lot of electrum out of there.
Now, does that place attract the same bugs that we have here deep down?
Always, it's one of the problems, but they're not the hardest thing to deal with if you're prepared.
What's the best kind of rounds to use on them?
armor piercing.
Okay.
Oh, they're armored?
They
Yeah,
are,
they're,
and
they're
Yeah,
that's their
they're
problem. They
heavily
have a
armored.
that's the real only danger there that is with them. They have like a 4 armor. That's serious.
so one thing I haven't seen here though, Hilburn, maybe you have, maybe it's not public, but it's depot. You have a place to buy or purchase armor piercing materials, rounds. I mean, I assume we don't want a lot of explosives or pyrotechnics in the mine, but
Well,
so
we
something that fires without that as a primer.
um not really. I mean, everything around here is pretty much just Legionnaire concussion, or well, that would be illegal, but standard, uh, standard carbine type stuff is what you can find. We don't have any particular black market set up, and I wouldn't even use the black market here. We don't have a market set up.
Yeah, that's
But
what I was wondering for
people
some.
do sell, and a lot of times they do it out of ships. And there'll be posts put up. And matter of fact, as you guys think about it, you probably saw in the 6 weeks you've been here, you've probably seen a post or two of some ship that's come in and offering like out the door sales, right, type of thing. But no, we don't. Having a market like that set up here would be useful. Wink, wink.
Hey
Oh,
guys,
I hear you. Well,
we
that's one
we
thing
should open a
Z
market.
Point Energy has a lot of opportunities.
It does.
So,
But even just for standard munitions and tools, just out of character here, you guys literally bought a gymnasium-sized property, and you're using a storefront size worth of it, meaning you have a
Yeah, we
lot of
got a lot of
space you
room.
haven't done anything with, right? You guys
no,
could
we
build
haven't had
quarters
the
in
time either,
there. Oh,
but
well, you don't have the
yeah,
money either. But you could
yeah.
build quarters in there. You could build your own market, weapons market. You could do anything you want.
Ooh,
Guys,
weapons market.
think he's trying to
Well,
tell us we should build a market.
yeah, but before we go down that,
In his diplomatic way, yes.
before we
Yes.
go down that rabbit trail of shit, though, let's look.
Hmm.
Put a pin in that one on the
Mhm.
bulletin board of ideas. Um,
Let's.
Oh man, it sounds like a lot of fun.
and then
We'll come back to it.
yeah, because but let's look at see what we can do with the argon drop. All right, well, Hilbert,
Yeah.
thank you for the credentials that we can use and the information.
Yeah.
And
He said, "Don't lean on him like you would a Legionnaire badge, though. But it should be at least of some help."
it's only has so much weight as it's respected. I'm sure
Right.
it's respected
Let's.
well, though.
Yeah.
Okay. And you guys
Let's
have,
bring our
you-
EV suits with us when we go, just because if
Yeah.
there's radiation
well,
Well,
then
issues.
the
we'll
kite
shake hands
has
and
all that on it. Yeah.
we shake hands and walk off and tell them we'll be in touch.
He says, "Good luck.
Hey,
Thank you."
hey, is there an easier way to get a hold of you than running around the station?
He's like, well, you can just call the main board, which we set up just before you guys got here, actually. He looks over at Sheila, and she's ready quick with a business card. And he takes it and hands it to you, and it doesn't have his name on it particularly. It's not Hilburn this or that, but it's the Wormwood Council, and it has a net address, and that's where they post information and stuff. And you can that'd probably be the most direct way to get a hold of him. Yeah.
I'll save the info on my pad, and
Me too.
yeah, let's
Actually
go.
go in there and see if there's forums where people chat about various things and see if there's any gossip, I guess, about problems they're having. I
In
would know what I
regards to
was
the
looking
argon
for.
drop, there are
Yeah,
communications, and matter of
So why don't you
fact,
do that while we get on our ship and start
right,
moving?
you're doing that.
yeah,
And by the way, Bill has already been on this website inadvertently, in his forums talking to other engineers. So
That's what I was thinking.
yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
So, but this is just a general thing. Like I said, these guys are in the very early processes of creating government, right?
My space Tinder.
Right. Well, no, maybe.
right.
Yeah, sure. Why not? It would be, but they're in the very early stages of it because the number of people that are running around here is sub 1,000, right?
Yeah,
Which is still a lot of people, but it's nowhere near. I mean, you could have 500,000 people running around here, dude. That's how big it is, right? Maybe even 1 million.
Well,
if you
but
really
this
get
isn't the
serious
only
about it.
place either. There's 2 other places on the other side of the world.
And even more, because
The
keep in
Pirates
mind that
and yeah,
Tower in his searching in his he found a little pyramid buried in the foliage. So who knows how many pyramids are on this planet? But this planet clearly has only had people interacting with it for less than a decade. So it's a kind of a new
right.
find, and you're starting to get more and more people come out to it. And it's very interesting of all the activity in this sector because this sector is supposed to be restricted, but it clearly doesn't seem so.
They have no control over here.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just the way it
hard.
is.
The space is big. Yeah, that's true. And the Imperium, of course, is far more concerned with security within its own sphere of influence, not in this one. The Empire is has the best access because they control the juncture point, right?
Right.
So in the long run, all of this space will fall under the empire. And in all honesty, if any of you guys are looking at things geopolitically, should I use the word geo? Maybe I should use the word spatially political. But nevertheless, looking at it that way, this juncture point in the long run might well make the empire the true one superpower in the human sphere. That's how important this space is, right? But anyway, that's a different conversation. So you guys get on your ship. You have all the equipment on the kite that you need, and of course, because it's already set up for all of this stuff, including EV
Yeah.
suits, GOP. And you guys, launch out of your little slip out of the Red Hunter, and you guys fly along the surface. You get that 20 mile distance and heading toward over there. But you're of course you're going to Argon Drop, but you need to talk to Miller, right? Because that's the contact point you've heard about, and maybe he'll have more information than just simply dropping into the Argon Drop blind, right? And of course, Miller is over in that area. He works in the Argon Drop, but he seems to be an influential guy. So you guys come over and you land at the kind of like uh, the loading unloading zone of the Argon drop basically is where you
Mhm.
land. It's on the surface, and there's a lot of ships here. There's cargo. There's just you've seen this. It's all over here. There's tons of these things, but you go over there and drop at that point, and of course it's just on the surface, just below before the Argon drop stops, and you guys kind of park your kite, which is easy. Because it's a big space, and you start walking around and trying to find Miller. So, who wants to do that?
I'll do it.
All right,
This place should have a contact list too, shouldn't it? Just like the other place?
probably does, yeah.
And you can yeah,
But I mean,
check
you
on
can
it.
also just let your face man speak.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Go forth and speak, spaceman, face man.
Yeah, I start asking around for Miller, see if we can, you know, I can figure out where this guy is. I get, I can get like information on what he looks like and all that
hmm
stuff.
And you find out that Miller looks just like he looks here, and he is the guy that is
Really.
in. He owns the well, not owns. He operates for Bowman the elevator system, right? So he would be in the elevator controls because there's a lot of elevators around here where they bring loads of ore up and load them onto ships, and he's kind of in charge of all that. So he's the dock foreman, I guess, is what he would be for Bowman. And so you find him in the foreman's shed, which we'll say was right up top over here on the left. And you come in, and there's a couple people milling around. They ask what you want, and you guys tell me you want to speak to Miller, and easy enough. So you're standing in front of Miller, and he's looking at a chart, and some other person is operating elevators, and he looks at you and he says, "Yeah, well, what can I do for you?"
Greetings. You must be Miller. I'm
Yeah, yeah.
Miles Sterling.
Oh, well, nice to meet
Um,
you.
I hear that you've been having some issues down here, and we have our radiation suits with us. I'm assuming. I hear you're having some issues with here. Something that is similar to radiation, but doesn't quite seem to match the bill.
Oh, yeah, yeah, we've been having a lot of that trouble deep down at the bottom. Why do I always go to frickin' Michigan? or
I don't know.
Minneapolis. I don't know what is
Yeah.
that. If I'm in Fargo
And
forever.
there's a lot of there's a like you know what Michigan was the place that really went into space. A lot of the rest of the country just a lot of the rest of the world just stayed behind, but
That's what it is.
there's
That's what
all those
happened. Yeah, they're
Michiganders.
all from
Yeah,
Fargo. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I'll be
but
back in
anyway,
2 seconds.
yeah, okay. But he says, yeah, that's been we have been having a lot of problems with that the past little bit. A lot of people go in the hospital. We don't know what's going on. He says, but it's I've noticed a worse problem. He says
Hmm.
that one of the things I love about this place is everyone's always so copacetic, right? I mean, it makes sense. I mean, there's so much for everyone. There's no reason for there to be any kind of competition. But people, when they come from that deep part, they're always irritated recently. It goes away, but it's just weird. I know it shouldn't be weird. I mean, I was in the Legion and I've seen all kind of stuff. For the past 7 years working here, you just don't see much anger. But coming out of those deeps, they tend to see. I mean, some of the nicest fellas you ever met, like for a good hour, just pissed.
Hmm.
You have a
Well,
cooling off area that everyone has to go through before getting out lung circulation. Might be a good idea to establish one if you don't.
Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, you must be a government person.
No, I'm a
Could
doctor.
establish bum fights, GOP.
Bum bites, yeah. But
okay.
now he does chortle at that because yeah, you don't have any kind of government micromanagement like that here at all. This is
Well,
a freebooting mining colony is what this is, lady.
yeah. Um, well, I try and get whatever information I can. Anything additional, like if there's more specific information, not just at the bottom of the shaft, but like, okay, what is there a specific area down there that seems to have a higher concentration of burn injuries, or like people coming from that area with more problems. Just general questions to try and get a more specific,
Yeah, yeah.
maybe
Um,
try and find an epicenter.
and there's no need for a role with this guy because he's 100% wants help with it. So and so it's an automatic success. He says that yeah, they definitely need to deal with it. And like I said, with people being frustrated, they're making noise that you usually don't see. But we definitely got to figure out what's going on. He says, I run the docks and I don't get much time away from here. I've a lot of guys come to me to represent them and stuff like that, and I've been thinking about going and talking to the council. But if you really want to know what's going on, I'd talk to Pecos.
Pecos.
Yeah, he
Uh,
runs
um.
the dock at the bottom of the Argon drop.
All right. What can you tell me about Pecos? What
He's
does he
like
look
you.
like? Just oh,
Well, he doesn't
all
point to
right.
you. He points to let's say Tower,
Howdy.
meaning mutant.
Oh, I thought you meant a redneck.
That too, probably, yeah. Pecos. But because this is another human, here you're interacting with all kind of people, aliens, humans, and mutants, and no one seems to give a shit. But then again, we do have that strange aura of happiness that goes on in this place.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. If there's no other prudent information, then let's head down.
Okay. So from this point, you guys could take your kite to the lower dock. You could do that, or you could just
Do
take an
we?
elevator down. It's up to you.
I might as well take the kite. Probably be quicker.
It probably would be. So you guys load back into the kite. Now, is everyone putting on EV suits?
I
I
am.
am.
You
I
are.
am.
Well, now I ask that because some of you have magical abilities. Will that suit affect that, Mister I shoot lightning? Probably will.
Shit. You know what? I'm gonna wear everything except for the gloves.
Which means why wear anything?
You know what? I'm going in assless chaps.
There you go. That's what we
Okay.
want. Monkeypox galore. Sweet. But lady, there's no. I don't think with your abilities there's any reason at all not to wear it. GOP, of
No.
course, no problem. I would say it would hinder you though, Tower. And Bill, the way Bill fights and stuff like that, he'd tear through an EV
Tear
suit
it
so
up.
quickly. Yeah, I would suggest he not wear one. But what are you going to do, Bill? Not back.
Well,
No,
I just got done doing some parenting, so
no, no
I've
problem.
missed everything. But I'm gonna take oh well shit. Right now, I'll just
All
take
I'm
a rebreathing apparatus and something to keep myself from getting sterilized, like a lead cup, and I'm good.
okay, fine. All right.
Maybe
So
some gloves.
uh,
I
we
suggest some
we
gloves.
we dismantle pieces of the EV suit, but he's an engineer. He can do that on the fly. All right. So you guys
Actually,
get
yeah, I've got a skill for that. Improvise. I can make some, more
yeah, easy,
something more suited.
superly easy enough. We're not going to bother rolling for it.
Something you can build later on. Okay.
No,
Well,
bring
do I
it.
need to do something before we go down?
No, you don't. No, you don't. Let's move along.
All right.
Okay. So you guys get in the kite and you head down the Argon drop. Now,
Nice.
this is a lot of these drops are old. They're not new. There have been some new ones. You don't know that, but you would assume there are new ones that have been dug in the earth. But a lot of them are old, and you can see the mix of the old tech and the imperial tech being intermixed here. As you guys go down the drop, and of course, these kind of giant human-like faces, they're all over the place here, right? And it's a pretty standard consensus that the whoever the ancients were, they were human-like, which brings up a lot of you guys don't run in those circles, but the people who get into religion and philosophical conversations, they kind of they go on about that quite a bit. That the ancients were human, and this is truly human territory, and those damn aliens don't have a right, that kind of nonsense, right? But
Take
whatever.
scans of them,
You do.
pictures.
What was that, lady?
I am taking scans and pictures
Okay, fine.
of the
But
faces and
sure,
stuff.
sure, and they're all over the place. You've seen them before, and you've guys seen them during your military campaign too. The ancients they look like they were humans of some kind, right? It's just what they look like, as far as you guys know. But anyway, you head down the Argon drop and you come into the lower dock. And here in the lower dock, it's way more chaotic than it was above. Above is really kind of like an organization. It's just loading and unloading, really, and flying, back to the main pyramid where all the ships and storage is being held. But down here, you have that, but you also have a mix of things coming in and just general activity, people doing all kind of stuff. There's engineer bays, there's repair places. It's much more chaotic here. And down in this, just from what you see, there's probably 20 people running around this place, doing various things. And of course, you guys land. You find a place to land with a kite. It's very easy because it's small. And you guys get out and you're looking around for Pecos. And seeing as he was described to you as being like you, there is one man who stands out here like you quite a bit, and he's wearing a sombrero, so it could be Pecos.
I like this guy already.
Yeah.
Can we invite him to the ship for tea?
So you guys go up
Well,
and talk to Pecos, and he says, "Ah, hola. How are you today? How can I help you?"
oh, greetings. We're here to help with the radiation issue.
Oh, that's a nasty business. God, I wish I could do accents, because I definitely want to be the most racist Mexican possible. That would be awesome. Just imagine that in your head. Okay. But he's a Mexican, so he's a Rastafarian Mexican, by the way. But anyway,
Rastafarian. I thought that was Jamaican.
hey, shh, don't mess with my cosmology. Okay. But anyway, he says, "Oh, that's been quite a bit of a problem. Yeah, recently we've had a lot. That's real deep down, though."
Could we get some directions, perhaps, to where the it seems like the biggest concentration of the poisoning is happening.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That is on level 114.
Okay, I make a note of it so I kind of look into the map section. Is there anything else strange that you're noticing down here?
No, other than the rock biters.
There are a lot of them in that particular area we're going into.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Does anybody else have any other questions for this guy?
What do you know?
Ian?
Yeah, I got a few quick ones, but if you don't mind, Pecos. So, is there anyone around here who could describe what happened to him, or to a friend who saw it happen?
Well, he says that mainly it seems people are just working on that level, or he goes, that's the bottom. That's the actual bottom. Uh, or even a level or two above had just been coming back with these radiation burns, but they're weird. And them and other than that, complaints of Faustians, but you know, bedtime
So,
stories.
Faust, yeah. Well, there are some on the planet, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah, but they're way over there. What would they be over here for?
Just saying, there are some on the planet, so who knows, right?
Hmm? You would think I would see them go by me.
Unless they're coming in from the other side. How deep into the core is this?
Oh, he says 114 is as low as I know.
Huh.
Um,
What does 114 mean to me as far as depth?
What that would mean is because you're already pretty deep anyway. You guys are operating more than a mile below the surface.
We're currently a mile, so it could be another mile.
Well, no, I mean you think of
No.
levels, so it's probably another 300 feet below you.
Is a level just like a story, essentially, like
Yeah,
15 to
in
20
a,
feet,
more
or
like 20 feet. Yeah, yeah, something like that, 20, 30 feet. So a few hundred feet below you, because most of the mining is happening off the side of the wall of which I just showed you, right?
right, right. It goes vertically
Yeah,
after
it
or
goes
going
vertical,
down.
right?
Okay. Yeah.
Or excuse me, it goes horizontal across within the vertical, and
Right,
that's
right.
how all these drops work. That's what I'm saying. They're doing drop mining instead of shaft mining, right?
Yep.
This is a
Yep.
shaft technically, but I'm
Yep.
just using that terminology. But
Yep.
down
I get it.
here is they've been digging down themselves,
Okay.
right? And you notice that as you're looking down here, this technology around you, this is all Imperial.
Okay.
how? So I'm looking at the map.
Wait, last question for Pecos here. So the bugs down there, how bad, how thick is it when you get down to 114?
Oh, it's normal. You certainly will run into them, but just make sure you got punchers on you, and you'll be fine.
Do the bugs and the radiation burns, is there any, they happen at the same time to anyone? Like they deal
Oh,
with
it's
bugs and come back burned, or is it
it's
just,
definitely not the rock biters.
okay. Okay. Well,
um,
anyone else?
I was just gonna ask Chester, just based on what I'm looking at on the map. How deep can we
Oh, you can't take the
take
kite
our
any
kite?
further. You're done. Yeah,
Okay, this is as far as it goes. All right. We'll just take a lift down.
that's right.
Do we have a puncher
He means
besides
he
my,
means armor piercing
Yeah, I
rounds.
think it means. I think he's being. Yeah.
He's
yeah,
being colloquial.
I know. Okay.
Hmm.
I was being ethnic.
We don't have a lot of armor piercing rounds. I have some, but we didn't pick any up.
Well, these
So,
guys, these guys, especially deep miners, they they deal with these things all the time, and it is a frustration. But you haven't heard anyone screaming and lamenting about the rock biters. It's not. It doesn't seem like they're that big a threat. It's just something you have to keep an eye out for and deal with. It's not like it's this unstoppable monstrosity. It's not at all the feel you've got off of it.
no,
And
that's not my angle, but that's okay. I'm
trying to get.
wondering.
He was trying to get some ammo or armor piercing rounds.
Well,
is what
ask
No,
I-
him.
I want to get some shells to see if we use that for protection versus the radiation. If it's a natural occurring thing, or if it's
No, it's
not.
definitely not the rock biters. Definitely not. These things are found at this kind of level, that mile down level all over the place. The
But
only
no
good,
one's ever seen a sick rock biter, have they? We
no,
don't know.
no,
So
he answers your
Other than a
question.
dead rock bite.
The thing with these bugs, they like the warm because it's warm down here already. It's super warm, right? You're at a depth where it's just warm, right? And you don't see them at upper levels hardly ever. It's quite rare. So that kind of mild deep level across the entire complex of this place is kind of where you run into them. So
how do we get down there then?
well, you take a lift and
All
it
right, let's go.
points. Yeah.
All right,
Alrighty.
let's head down.
So
Private network with my group. I tell them I really need to do an autopsy on these rock biters. Someone has to have done it somewhere.
you look
Well,
and absolutely it's been done. Yeah, these things are well
Yeah.
known. They're just a local insect.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the local cockroach. Okay.
But
well, I'm just wondering if
they're
those
like
things
the
can
size
handle that
of a bull.
radiation.
Well, no,
Yeah.
he told you there's he answered your question. No, there's no reports of any sick or anything at all from rockbiter. No.
Yeah,
do
no,
we have?
I mean, he just
Scanning, use my devices to scan for unusual.
Sure. And nothing.
And I'm assuming we probably have like some sort of Geiger counter esque
She
thing
has.
with our
Yeah, she
EV
just did
suit
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
all right. We'll
All
keep it
right.
running.
Cool.
Let's head down.
Okay. You guys head down the lift and you get yourself into the corridors. Now, the like I said, the interesting thing about here is we're below the level, and with lady doing her research on the bugs and stuff like that, what you've learned is the ancients who ran this place, and we've already kind of come to an understanding that the it's like this is a perpetual resource center is what it is, right? The something about the pyramid is constantly refreshing the resources. So this is a place that the ancients just used to gain resources perpetually, right? But the ancients, whoever they were, built down to that 1 mile level and no further. Even though they clearly had the capability of doing it, obviously, but they didn't, and you would surmise logically because they knew they would start running into these rock biters, right? And they like intentionally kept that, but the Imperials don't think that way. So they've dug deeper. And these 114 levels are imperially created. So as you guys get off the lift and start moving, and you have a little map to get yourself around the area. It doesn't tell you anything other than just the layout. But this is all imperial. This is all imperial technology you're looking at right here. There is nothing ancient about it. It's man-made. So you guys are moving along through these corridors, and what is your game plan here?
I mean, if it's well, for one, we can check and see if there is any sort of radiation esque levels down here.
Hmm.
Which they
But
probably are already done, so we have to look for something unusual.
Yep, which you would be the one that would have that information more than any of these miners, because you have been dealing with it past week. So although you don't know what it is, you do have a code of it, right? Meaning you guys haven't identified, therefore it's a new unidentified thing, but you know what the radiation looks like. You have that information more than they would have, because being a medical
Right.
person, right?
So now it's
Right.
time to set your Geiger counter for that wavelength, or your what is that thing called?
Other than
Tricorder.
them mining down on this level, there's no other connection, correct?
Not that you know of, yeah.
Okay, so
that's
I'm
your
informing my
phaser to
team.
fun.
Other than the offhand bedtime story of Faustians.
So we might
Okay,
run
now.
into some
All
Grinding.
right.
Okay.
Inform
Look,
the group
So switch
about.
it.
Yeah, we're watching for it.
and
Oh,
then
good
we
stuff.
also
Okay.
let's recon. Let's go to
Always keep
let's
aware.
let's
The guys that are exposed, keep an eye on them as well, making sure nothing's coming up on them. This
Yeah,
could have been something
I
set up here
understand
by
that.
the
I
Imperials.
understand that.
if I
Okay.
may.
This
I
could have
was
been
gonna
something set up by Imperials, a machine that just produces this and to keep the people from going down further.
well, let's say that the fairy tale of the Faustians is true, and it's a deterrent they're using against the miners,
But
or and that would be a way to defeat your enemy without having to engage them.
perhaps.
True.
But
So we
right
might
now,
look.
we gotta find this thing. We don't even know
Well, that's what
exactly
I'm
what
trying to get to. So what I'm saying is we can go and look into areas that are newer, the most newest developed, or where the development is being stymied and not completed because of radiation burns. Any of the mining areas there, while we're tracking, as well as we need to go as quietly as possible. So we're going to drop comms and do hand signals once we start getting into that area.
or
All right.
telepathy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's an option. That's
I
a very
don't want to
useful option.
start that
So
what I call intellect draining pool until I absolutely have to.
Sure, of course.
right,
Yeah.
understand. That's why I was saying hand signals. And
All right.
then I need to work on my newest invention, which is bafflers, which would basically echo out our location, like a mirage, so we wouldn't be seen. But I haven't. I think that's one thing
Digitally.
I can use.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
and physically. But I think that's something I can do with 0 point.
Maybe, but that would be a process. Yeah. But
I have
anyway,
established when this radiation did start. You said a week ago, but
Yeah.
it's been longer than that, right?
well, not that you know of.
Let's look for a place that just within the last week has been excavated.
Yeah, right here. Here we are. We're here.
Yep.
Yeah,
But
we're
it's
here
not
right now.
just one level. Okay.
No, it's right here. We're exactly where
All
it's
right.
coming out of. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So therefore, lady, you
Yes.
are looking at your medical scanner and you're trying to calibrate for that particular energy type. So give me a CR4 roll to
3 of
correctly calibrate.
12. I am going to use an effort.
Well,
Yes.
let's deal with your skills and assets first.
Okay. The trained medical thing will
Yep,
be
there's
give me
one.
1. Computers will give me 2.
Yep.
Uh,
It's an asset by itself, which is 3, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So therefore, 3 or higher. Do you want to use an effort and take the roll away completely,
No.
or just go with it?
No. I'm all right.
Okay.
13.
Okay. So you're able to calibrate it in, and it's very, very subtle. But off to the west, there you are seeing this radiation. It's very subtle, though.
Giving them hand signals, direction we need to head.
Okay.
Let's
Um,
go.
you guys, and of course, being you are Legionnaire Recons, even though that might not be a skill, a non-audible communication is an automatic with your just being a Legionnaire. Yeah, Recon. So anyway, you move along. You guys travel deeper into the complex, and there's uh, lots of the piping and stuff to control the temperature down here because it can get quite hot, and all of the kind of the kind of pre-loading work that they do. It's just a spaghetti of pipes and nonsense down here, more so than you guys have probably seen before. Although Bill's in heaven, and
That's right.
but as you guys are moving closer and closer to this radiation point, like I said, it's super subtle though. You would actually you're a bit surprised that it could cause any harm. It's so low, lady. However, you give me a surprise roll, please.
Wait a second. Can't be surprised on something. Hang on. It might be a different
There
character.
you go. We were checking if you noticed something. So if you guys have any specific things that help you with surprise, that course can be added to the roll. This is not particularly hard. It's a CR3.
Okay, I got that.
Tower.
Get a shit. I can't see the light. My bad. 12.
12. Well, but okay, fine. GOP, does he still not understand this game?
I
It's been a while since I've had to roll the dice, Chester.
Are you playing a video game right now, Tower?
I'm not.
okay.
I'm
I
eating
would just-
dinner. If that describes me, I'm
All
eating
right.
tacos.
Okay. GOP.
I've got no benefits towards this particular thing because I'd be like, oh no, you know what? Would my perception easing ability because help me against surprise? Because if that
Perception helping you with a perception roll. Shock. Yeah.
yes, okay, yeah, okay. So really, all of us should only have to do a 2 difficulty on this, or if we have more, then take off more.
So
So I
give me
made
a
it.
roll.
I made my
Okay,
roll.
you made it.
I rolled a 10.
Tower made it. Bill.
I made that automatic.
Yeah, automatically. Lady.
I made it 18.
Okay. So you guys are all aware because you hear this kind of clanking and this chittering coming from all around you, actually, and it's coming from below and coming over the top of the railing around you. You see three you've seen pictures of them, but finally you guys have encountered the rock biters.
About fucking time. All right.
And there's three of
Okay.
them, and they're coming up and they're attacking. Now, the interesting thing about the rock biters that you guys have certainly have researched, Lady probably more so than the rest of you, is they don't eat people. They literally eat rock, right? But they're highly protective of their territory. They're territorial. And that's the threat of them. And therefore, this must be an area where these ones particularly live, and they are getting rid of the intruders. So they
Hmm.
come up and they're just attacking straight up. So it is simply an initiative roll. These guys are not the wilies of combatants, so I will give them a 12 or a CR4
Uh,
in regards to that. So they're not they're not super high, but they're not low either. Anyway, go ahead and make your rolls.
18.
18,
19.
19, Lady.
What?
1.
One.
Okay. Well, okay.
Lady's going last.
Well, actually, she's losing a round. And Bill.
8.
8. Okay. So we're gonna go. What was that? GOP Tower, then me, and then Bill, and Lady loses a turn. And
Tower. I mean,
Tower's first. Okay, Tower. So
Go first,
Tower.
Field Green.
You got these three bug things that are about the size of a cow. I mean, they're pretty large. And they're kind of, but you notice as they come, one of them, as it's coming up the railing, it literally seems to compress itself like a cockroach to get past piping. So these things can control their width to a point.
Size.
To a
Whoa.
point, like a cockroach could do. But go ahead, Tower. You're being attacked by this sickly looking insect.
Is it touching any pipes? Or how far away is it?
Well, this is
This is
all
my best.
metal,
Like,
so they're all, of course, they're in contact
yeah.
with metal. Yeah, but so are
And
you.
how,
So, but Tower.
I mean, I
You are
could
all
technically electric slap the pipe, technically, and electrocute the shit out of all of them.
and all of
And
you.
us.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
mean, they are, just don't touch the fucking pipes, then, guys.
No,
I'd be fine.
Okay,
you guys
because I can
you're
fly.
standing on metal grating as well.
Oh, okay.
And
I didn't realize the
Tower,
floor was
you
made of
have
metal.
had this ability your whole life. You're well accustomed to how to use it, so you wouldn't make that mistake.
Well, I thought that I was electric proof.
Yeah, but
Well,
you
they're
wouldn't
that.
make that mistake. You were in the Legion. They certainly, even by that time, you would think you would know, but the Legion certainly would have taught you.
Nah, okay, okay. Well, in that case, I'm gonna grab the one in front of me. I'm gonna kick him.
Well, you
I'm gonna
could
do it.
blast him directly with your electricity.
Then I'll do that. I'll use my energy gauntlet plus 2 damage.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
fine. These things here are CR3s, so go ahead.
Okay, so tier 3. I don't want to be that guy. Can you give me a refresher of what I know my attacks, I know my damages. Which dice am I rolling to do attack? Because it's been like 5 sessions since I've had to attack
Always,
anything.
always in this game, the only dice you ever need is a D20.
Okay, I got you.
All right.
I think Bill's game threw me off because it was a bunch of D4s.
Possibly.
That was
Yeah.
like 8 months
Hey,
ago.
I rolled a 9,
Well,
and
hold
then,
on a second. This game is
but I had,
different, Tower. It is different. The first
I don't
thing,
know,
that number I'm giving you, the 3, right? This is the
I'm a plus
challenge.
6 to him.
Hold on a second,
Yep,
Tower. This game had the combat has 2 phases, right? Phase 1 is to determine the number you need to roll. Okay, so these are CR3s. So what we're going to do is take any of the attack bonuses that you have, and we're going to apply that to the CR3 to reduce its number. Okay,
I have a
so
plus 6 to hit.
you
Yes.
have a +6 to hit. That means that you don't need to roll at all to hit these
Okay,
things. It's automatic.
I got you.
So just do your damage.
7, 7, I believe it's 13 when I add everything up.
13 sounds about what I've heard from you before. So you do 13 points of damage. Your electric blast to this. It doesn't like it. It's oozing out its yellow bile all throughout its segmentation. It's not dead, but it's near so. You did 13, and you would expect it probably needs 2 more points to be dead. But so this one is in bad shape. GOP.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to. I'll shoot at another one with my Legion pistol.
Okay.
Um,
Now, what kind of
that's gonna
ammunition
auto.
are you using?
Traditional, but
Okay.
I'll.
Now, keep in mind that because he was doing an electrical attack, their carapace does nothing to protect from that, right? So his
Mhm.
damage was straight. But when it comes to projectiles, hacking, slashing, stuff like this, these things do have an armor rating of 4.
Isn't the Legion pistol heat based
No, this is
or
not a
energy based?
Warhammer bolter.
No. I thought you said though that it wasn't like regular ammunition. It was a different type of
Well, they
like
are
a.
superior, but they're not armor piercing unless they are.
Okay, well that's fine.
Armor piercing
So
ammunition in this, you guys would know this. Armor
yeah,
piercing, normal, what the civilian can buy, reduces armor by 2. Legionnaire armor piercing reduces by 4.
okay. Well, my normal damage for this is 19, so it'd be 15 points of damage.
Okay. You hit it in the mouth and explode its head. Dead.
Okay, cool. And
Uh,
I'll try and take cover behind something if I can.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you could take a move and try to put yourself in a more advantageous space. You are in a kind of tight, confined area, though. But anyway, Tower, do me a favor. This thing is a CR3 and it's attacking you. So you need to make a defense roll. Now, it's the same thing. Any kind of skills or assets you have that will add to defense will reduce that number before making the roll. So, what do you have to defend against? I do believe you have a speed defense, don't you?
Yes, I do. Speed defense is +1, and strength defense is +1.
Strength defense. I'm not sure.
Or
Might you thinking might defense is
might
what?
defense.
Yeah.
It's just speed at this point,
It's
buddy.
just speed.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's 1. So roll a 6 or higher unless you want to burn effort.
You can take it, man.
I'm doing good today. 20.
Oh, alrighty. No problem whatsoever. You're able to dodge. It's badly injured as well, so you're able to sidestep it quite easily.
I'm
So
glad I almost broke my arm. I'm rolling late tonight.
next
All
one
right.
here is going to attack Bill. The matter of fact, I'm going to do a GM incursion. Bill, you smell bad to them, and therefore two of them are going to attack you. Would you like to take my incursion or spend an experience point
Yeah,
to throw the
I'll take
DM
it.
off? Okay.
I'll
So
take it.
take an experience point and give one to someone else, please.
I'll give one back to Lady. She just gave me one. So.
Aw. So there you go, lady, getting that another XP. So two of them are attacking you, so you need to make 2 rolls. These are
Okay.
CR3s, however, so go ahead and you know how this
Or-
works. So
Okay, I ease it by 2 with my speed defense. So 3 or higher.
Yep.
Or 3. 1 to 3. First roll's an 18. Second roll's a 19.
okay, you're able to sidestep, even though you're a big bulky guy, you're very nimble and you're able to sidestep these 2 attacks, but they are on you. They're focused.
They get the elbow of alacrity.
Yes, they
Back off.
do. Bill, it's your turn.
Okay, since I've got 2 of them on me,
Well, no, I'm sorry. What am I doing? You had 1
I'm
on
8.
you. I apologize because GOP killed 1. I forgot. Yeah,
Well,
it
it's
doesn't
say la
matter
vie.
anyway. So I wasted GM incursion. Damn it. Okay, go ahead and you make your attack. There's only 1 in front of you.
Hey, maybe I smelled so bad I made it mad and it did 2 attacks. Once with his tail and once with his face. How's that?
It's transmogrified into 2. Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Those things are crazy. All right. Well,
mitosis.
mitosis. Oh, stub mitosis. All right. So then I'm gonna pull. Just do my armor piercing rounds because I have that loaded in my handgun.
These
Since I'm
are
going to be in a
legionnaire weaponry, right?
Well, yeah, my armor piercing rounds loaded in my Legion gun.
So
in the pistol because I'm staying in. I knew it was going to be a close encounter. Didn't need it in a rifle.
It takes away its armor completely. Then go ahead.
What if I? Okay, so then I ease it by 2. Okay. I rolled an 18, so that was the Legion gun does. You said 6, so it's 6 straight.
It was 8, wasn't it?
Oh, it's 8. Okay, so 8 straight then.
Okay, 8 straight. Of course, it's not pleased with that. Lady misses a turn. Back to the top tower.
Okay. There's the one still right in front of me, correct?
That's right. And you automatically hit it.
Yep, I'm gonna just hit him with that finisher. 13.
And down it goes. So that one splats and it oozes all over you. You're just covered in rockbiter guts.
I'm gonna wipe a little bit of that off my face.
A little bit. All right.
No.
No problem. GOP. There's 1 left and it's attacking Bill or
And
Ironback.
and now there are none left because I auto hit and I do 15 points of damage.
And it drops. You guys have finally encountered the rock biters, and yeah, not much of a fight. Not really. But you can see the annoyance of these things would be because you guys are trained legionnaires. If you were a normal people dealing with it, it would be far more of a threat, and you understand the consternation with these things. But then again, maybe they should have paid attention to what the ancients were telling them and not dig deeper. But they did.
They always do.
They always do. There's nothing.
So
These are just insects. There's no treasure or anything on these things. They're literally just insects.
and
They were
that's
protecting
Can we sell
something.
the chitin?
Maybe a
Hey, can we
nest.
sell the
Yeah, I'm
chitin
going
for
to get to
money?
that in a minute. I'm sorry, Tower. What?
Can we sell the chitin for money?
Nope. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing worth a rock biter than a dead rock biter.
no. I have Mercedes. I have a curiosity. I just want to have satisfied with these things. I'm gonna thinking about tearing off some of this hard candy shell
Okay,
and
easy
seeing
enough.
if it blocks your reading.
It
Okay.
does.
On your, it does.
Hmm.
Let's take a couple of shells. I need some armor.
Well, these things are
This
large
is no
enough,
these it cannot be converted because they're
Ah,
chit and rots. That's why I said there's no value in these things whatsoever. There's
but as of
nothing.
right now, does it immediately pulpify or become goo
No,
once
it
they're
takes
dead?
time. It takes time, but no one's been able to find a way to tan it, to
Well, for
tannin it. Yeah.
this mission though, we can use it to our advantage.
Not maybe if you want to just cover yourself in it, I suppose, but that's not really the point, Bill. It's really not.
Okay.
You're overthinking it.
Well, I have the ability to get very granular, so I don't mind you telling me to step back and take a bigger look. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
cool.
just
All
yeah,
right,
yeah. It's not
let's
all right,
keep
necessary.
going.
Yeah.
forward.
Oh God, he's using big words on me. I'm gonna go crazy.
Oh God. Now you guys, of course, are following ladies, medical scanner, and not too far away, you get to the point where she's getting this very subtle reading. And you guys are kind of looking around. You go past it, and it gets less. You keep coming back to this point on this grading work, which you guys are walking around on top of here, and you keep coming back to this point, and you know why is it this point, and therefore I need a serious search, CR5.
15 or higher.
Okay.
Yep.
My instincts would tell
Uh,
me to below us because that's where the
it's
creatures came from.
Yeah, that's
CR4 because of
Yeah.
my ability.
okay. So
Um,
that would be a 12.
and also, Tower, you have X-ray vision.
He does.
Yeah, then
Well, let's go one
yeah,
at a
but
time, though, please. GOP.
Okay. I'll roll at 12 because I don't have anything else that gives me benefits for this particular thing. 13. Okay, sounds
Okay.
good.
All right. Tower.
I'm going through all my papers, trying to figure out what exactly my X-ray vision would give me because it's like a
Uh, it
homebrew
it would
art.
give you in this case it would give you +2.
Okay, so that
So
puts
that
my
brings it
challenge
down to
rating
a
at
3. That's right. You have
3,
anything
and
else
then
for searching or spotting or anything like that? Any other ability?
I have.
What's your
I have +2 perception and
oh,
+1 identifying. Yep, +1 identifying.
well, the
That's
+2 in perception is definitely gonna.
Definitely, and the identifying is perfect for this, so automatic success. Lady.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. The benefit from GOP, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Group. Okay. That's really the only one I got other than the equipment I'm carrying.
Well,
And
the
it's
the
letters
equipment
here.
isn't going
So
to help in this particular case.
no.
So 12 or higher,
Okay.
please.
15.
No problem. Bill.
all right. So I've got power shift for intelligence base. That's 1. I've got perception training. That's 2. Assessing danger, which would be 3.
Well,
So
well,
or not.
or not, but
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to call
we'll
that
throw
one.
half of that and half of GOPs in and make it CR2. So 6 or higher.
18.
18, no problem. Okay. And not to cut you off with that, lady, but I've been trying to tell you guys. I put the rock biter in here because you guys wanted to fight a rock biter. That's why
Mm-hmm.
it's here. They are not affiliated with what's going on at all. At all.
Okay.
I just trying to,
Don't
Gotcha.
care.
because of
Just glad to
time
hit one.
constraints, I'm trying to keep you off red herrings. That's why.
All right.
Normally, I'd
Fair enough.
let you go down that hole.
That's
Right?
what we should have called the ship, the Red Herring.
Ah,
That would have been good. But you know what I mean. Because of time constraints, I've tried to keep you guys away from red herrings. But anyway,
Yeah.
yes, you are right though, lady. Below the scaffolding that you guys are walking on, you all kind of looking around and searching, and you notice down there that there is a hole. Now it's kind of on the side, which is why it's not so easy to see. But there is a little bit of light coming out of there, and there's a hole down there. It's not part of the building. It's literally just a hole in the ground, which, for all you know, was created by rock biters because they do bore through rock. But it is down below you, and you guys can scramble down to it pretty easily. and you see this hole, and you haven't been in the mines before. So you don't really know much about it, but this hole looks a little different because as you kind of squeeze through and get yourself in there, this hole has like a hallway that has been kind of makeshift. It's very makeshift and put along, and it seems to be pretty long. They even have some little scooter like vehicles in here, and it's almost like a hobo tunnel.
There's some scooters in here.
There are, and
I'm gonna I want to
I'll show it
iron
to you.
up real quick. So Ironback will transform into his iron form,
What are
and
you,
then
Robo now?
I'm robot man. And then
Yeah.
I want to see, since all kinds of vehicles or whatnot has its what you would call, are these Imperial scooter parts, or
No,
is
they're
this a
very
mix of
makeshift.
shit?
Everything right down
Okay.
down here you're looking. I'm showing you. I put a picture here. It's not perfect, but it's just something that kind of fit what I had in mind.
Oh hell
But
yeah!
it's very
Like black market
makeshift.
things.
It's very slapped together. It's nowhere near the professional level of construction and engineering that you saw before. I mean, this right here is very imperial, right? It's well done.
It's a
But
hovel.
it is, but it goes on for a stretch. You can't see the end of it, and seeing as there are vehicles down here, little ones, but there are vehicles here, it might go on for quite a while.
I look
You,
for any booby traps using assessing danger real quick, and then we move on.
yeah, no, nothing.
Nothing. Okay, cool.
All right.
Let's move on.
So you guys are going
Booby
through, and
traps.
occasionally at the little corner of these little hovels, you'll see eyes looking out at you and doors shutting. No one seems to want to talk to you, although you're not being attacked. And you're traveling along, unless you want to force your way into one of these little hovels. You guys are moving along, and eventually, and does anyone want to force their way into one of these hovels?
No, don't start none, won't be none.
That's right.
Right?
Okay. You do come up to an area where there are several people who are welding, and it's a little bit of an open area. They're welding, and they're just repairing some mining equipment. But like I said, this place is very slapped together, and their skills are painful to you, Bill. Yeah, it's almost like the city slicker who decides to go homestead. It's kind of what it feels like. And but
Man.
there is one dude here who seems to be more capable in his engineering abilities, and he actually takes off his goggles and takes a look at you. And there's his picture. He says, "Yeah, what do you?" Why do I always go to Fargo? He says, "Why? What do you want down here? What are you up to?"
Hey, I don't mean any aggression. So I just wanted to know where the source of radiation that's been burning the miners is coming from. You been having any problems with that?
This is our find. Back off.
Hey, like I said, I don't mean any aggression. Face, talk to the guy.
Yeah, I kind of get in and like, pardon me, sir. We really aren't here to take anything from you. We're just trying to well to stop anyone else from getting hurt. Can I do a persuasion roll?
You're gonna have to, because he ain't taking your shit at all. You can tell. Yeah. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, he's so against you. And by the way, you guys haven't been here long enough, but you feel irritated for some reason, all of you, slightly. And but yeah, this guy is not. He is combative for sure. He's not physical, but he's combative. So CR6.
Huh.
I automatically
Yeah, I know.
succeed,
I know.
That's why it was so high.
and that's good because I only rolled a 5. I would
Well,
Ooh.
just
you
if
don't
I get
have
the
to
extra
roll at all,
benefits.
right?
Well, I mean, I rolled to see if I get any other
Bonuses. Yeah, no, I
benefits.
get that. I
Yeah.
understand that. Although that is dangerous though, because if you roll a one, that's automatic failure no matter what, though. right? I
Mhm.
allow that
That's a
because
good
I
point.
get why you're doing that, but keep that in mind. But he softens to you. He's like, "Yeah, we've been having trouble. What do you want?"
We're just trying to figure out what the cause is and trying to correct it. Um,
Oh, we know what the cause is, but that ain't none of your business.
well, I mean, perhaps we can help you.
Huh.
That's why we're here.
He looks at you, government people.
Well, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? We can't help you, and then we just end up leaving with our tail between our legs.
You see one guy who is kneeled down, I mean, in a crouching position, welding exactly how you're not supposed to in every way. It just, poor Bill is cringing like hell around this place. These guys are not good at what they do, Bill. But he stands up and he's taller than you are, Bill. And he comes over and he says, Uncle Banjo, any problem here? And Banjo looks over and, maybe. And he looks at you guys sideways.
No issue from me. I'm just trying to help the situation.
Be a little bit
That
more proactive, please, GOP.
yeah. Look, we're darn it. I was just trying to think of what I should do
She's
here.
not a woman. That's why GOP's having
That
problems.
is fair. That is
But
fair. Well,
my character, yeah. What's up?
Well,
There was built.
GOP, he said, "Yeah, we know what the problem is."
But they're not
Look,
going to tell us because it's their fine.
Yeah, but GOP can change that.
Uh-huh.
You
look.
can do it.
Okay. This is just going to keep giving you trouble. Why not just get it out of the way so you can continue on what you're doing, and it'll be much more profitable without having to deal with people, you know, uh, people falling over from sickness.
Make your roll. This one's because he's definitely hates you. He hates your guts.
Oh, I'm
So
sure. And
CR10.
I'm brain farting with. Okay, so
So while
10, and let me look
he's
at my
doing that,
numbers.
I wanna signal Mercedes to do
Oh, scanning, yeah.
to peep.
No, use your
Okay,
mental
so
ability.
Yeah,
I've got a
because there is something wrong with the aggression in here, and I can tell that's not how
Okay, link
anyone
us
else is.
together.
Well, let's
okay. I
go.
dropped it down.
Let's go. Let's do one at a time, please. GOP, make your roll.
Okay, so I have a +8.
Yeah, I know.
So it drops it down to a 3, and then I roll
Well, no, it
a
dropped down to a
4.
6.
No, it was 11. Like
No,
or
I said
CR.
CR10,
Oh,
so
you
that
said
brings us
that.
CR2, which
Oh,
is a
okay.
6 on the roll.
Okay, CR2. All right. My bad. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I thought you said 11. I don't know. I rolled a 14 anyways.
Okay.
So
Lady, are you going to mind probe this Uncle Banjo?
Yeah.
Okay.
See what his fourth arts are.
This guy doesn't have any particular mental offenses, so we'll just go with the standard CR3.
15.
Okay. You succeed, GOP, but his answer to you is that yeah, well, we are having some problems with the artifact, but we got it. We got it. Okay, we got it. So you succeeded in getting information of artifact, GOP, but that no further. But lady, of course, this guy has no mental defenses whatsoever. You get and of course it's on his mind because he's defending against it. So you get some good
Yeah.
information. Lady, they found an artifact and that is like the size of a freaking house down here. They have found these are rock digger burrows that they came. Some Uncle Banjo was the first one to come in, by the way, and they were able. This is exposition time, by the way, but they were able to dig it out and looking in here, and they found the artifact, and they've been figuring out what they can do with it, how they can go about it, and the only really, really important information about this ancient thing is they made a deal. And
Oh,
that deal was with a Faustian researcher. And he's here
Mm.
with his Grindon soldiers.
Any points of intel to link
Now,
the group.
these guys are,
No,
and they're technically illiterate, basically, when it comes to this kind of
I'm
stuff.
talking about my group to
I'm
let them
also
know that
illiterate.
yeah.
Did you get any information what the deal was, or
Yeah, and I'm informing them of this.
Yes, no, I know.
Telepathically.
You are,
Okay.
and so make sure you spend all the points you have to spend, lady,
Yeah, I'm
off
down to
here.
20 on
Yeah,
intel.
yeah. Yeah, because these guys didn't know what to do with it because they don't have any technical expertise. They don't even know what it is. They just know it's got to be worth money. They basically, by telling the Faustians that the Faustians promised them 20% of the value of the resale. But these people aren't very smart, lady. You getting
All
that,
right.
offhand. But that's the thing. They found something big, and they didn't know what to do with it. They talked about themselves, and they somehow you don't you can't you would have to make a really deep scan to figure that out. But somehow they met with a Faustian and they made a deal with a Faustian, and then they're here. That's all you know. A Faustian
Hmm.
researcher. Oh, by the way, his name is Palance. You do get that information as well.
Collance.
Palance is the Faustian researcher that's here. And they're at the
Like,
artifact, and you know that the artifact is about 300 yards to your left down the hallway that kind of veers off at a northwesterly direction.
Is that where this slow building of radiation,
On your
whatever you
scanner?
think you want to call it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now it's no level of danger to you, although um, you would have to ask about that. But yeah, there's nothing dangerous right now.
so can you plant in his mind that the
No,
Faustians
she
are trying to?
cannot.
No, I
She
can't do
cannot.
that. No.
I'm going to look at him because I know if we just start walking towards their claim, they're going to get pissed off. You know, I am kind of in the market for purchasing artifacts.
The
How
big
would
dumb
you?
guy on the side said, "But we already made a deal." And the Uncle Banjo looks at him like if looks could kill.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you've made a deal, hmm? Well, I mean, numbers can always be changed. If say someone comes along with a better deal.
What kind of deal? He seems interested, Uncle Banjo.
Well, I'd have to see it and know exactly what it does before I can throw out a number, but I could probably pay more than whatever the person who already uh, bought the item, but clearly hasn't taken possession of it yet because it's still here.
Now, Uncle Banjo's a little smarter than the rest of them, and and he probably had that thought come through his head as well. He's a little more interested in what you're saying, therefore reducing it to a CR6, which is an automatic roll for you. And he's like, all right, well, come here, take a look at it then. And the big guy starts to say something, and Uncle Banjo looks at him and says, "Don't make me hurt you, Mikey." Anyone? Anyone? Movie reference? Anyone? Anyone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
I'm sorry. I didn't get no
Say
point for
the
that.
line again. Say the line again.
Don't make me hurt you, Mikey. But I need to sound like a very, very serious New York mafioso, which I'm not.
The
Anyway,
Godfather?
um, uh,
Dean Martin, the
no, that's
singer.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's Eraser. But anyway, moving along, and he takes you, so you guys follow along. Mikey doesn't do anything, and you guys travel the distance down, and you get in, and as you turn a corner, they've
We're traveling
chiseled out the rock here a lot. What was that, lady?
uh with the Faustian, he only has one other thing with him, right?
You don't know
Well,
anything
we
about
know the
that. You don't have
robot.
that information. Yeah, you don't have that information. You don't know. You just
I
all
didn't
you
You
get
know,
I didn't
got
get the
was that
impression.
Faustian researcher Palance and his guards. That's all you got.
And his guards, okay.
Yeah.
and they're Grindin.
And well, of course they are. The Faustians don't
Yeah.
get their hands dirty.
Right. Right. Right.
It's either with them, it's either robots or Grindin. I mean, that's you know this right well. And because the interesting thing with the Grindin is you've never seen them outside of Faustine control, which has always been a question amongst the Legionnaire. But they also use robots as well, which you know that too. But yeah, the Faustines themselves, they're human, right? But they never get their hands dirty. Mostly those guys are researchers, scientists, arts. They're deviants as far as you're concerned. They're all hedonist and such. That would be your stereotype and prejudice against them, right? But nevertheless, you see this area that they've hewed out with rock. More so, you could tell that it had been dug probably by the rock biters, but it's been hewed out, and what you see in front of you is a fairly large cavern, and the cavern goes on well behind you. You would figure that this is probably, it's not going to be all the way up to the original ancients line the mile deep line that they cut, but pretty close. So you guys came down into the imperial area here of about 300, 400 feet, right? This thing is nearly that tall. So the ceiling of this and the layer of mining above can't be that disparate. 100 feet maybe, right? It's very large, and it fills this area. When I said house, I kind of probably needed to exaggerate that more like
Maybe the
a
White House.
city building. And it's a very odd shape, but it does take on that kind of pyramidal shape that you guys are used to seeing with the ancient things. And there is an energy source going off inside of it. And I got a picture. Would you like to see?
Yeah.
Really.
Ooh.
It
Oh
is
my.
big, and you can't figure how you would ever get this thing out of here. It's not you because it's a building. It's literally constructed. It's not going to fit through that little hole you just came through. That's for damn sure. So you don't know what these dumb miners are thinking about. But
But it
you
will go out the shaft, right?
no, there's nothing
Mm,
above it. It's in its
no.
own little cavern, and the cavern goes on well behind this. You just can't get a good look at it, right? Because this thing is in the way. But this is an impressive piece of technology. You notice that the construction and the materials used is very similar to the structure above you, the pyramid itself. Although this is clearly a hidden thing, because there are no shafts coming down to it, and it of course you don't know what's behind it. But as far as the entrance point you just came through, it was just they kind of stumbled upon a rock biter tunnel is what happened, right? It's not designed to come in this way. And you can see that because the little bridges and stuff that you see going up to this are not actually bridges. The actual laddering that you can walk and scaffolding you walk on is literally scaffolding that these men built, right? But yeah, it's like, wow, that's pretty impressive. You've never seen anything quite like this.
So, all right. So we head over to the device.
Well, hold on
Uh,
now. Uncle Banjo says, whoa, 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 whoa. What do you think? What kind of deal?
that's impressive. I mean, of course, I'd like to look over it to see if we can figure out how it works. Just if it has utility for us, then it of course we'd pay you more for that.
So we're
Makes
mind
sense.
linked, correct?
You are,
Yes.
and yeah, I'm going to throw water on real quick. It'll just take a second.
Hmm. You were going to say, Bill?
I would say ask. Well, first I wanted to see if I didn't know if the lady had the capabilities to see if his attitude is being manipulated at all. The anger, if it's coming from anywhere external. So, and second
I
was
can't do
like,
that.
okay, and then second
Unless,
was
unless it's in his forethoughts. Why am I angry? It's not going to.
I think
Okay.
it was kind of implied that we should just assume that people are more pissed off because of this thing. But I was just
right.
curious, like,
Well, that's what I'm thinking, but I just was seeing if we could prove it. The
how
other,
they came across the Faust people in the first place. Like, they just show up? Did they come down from above, or did they come from somewhere deeper in the caves?
well,
Or
that's definitely something we need to figure out. But the other thing is what have they made it do so far? And then second is do we want to throw our weight around with this Faustian guy and say, he's trespassing? This is Imperial. This area has all been claimed by the Imperium or something. Do you want to go by that angle? Or
it has not.
Well, I
hold
think
on.
it'd be a bluff if we tried
It would
that.
be.
And that'd
Yeah,
be
it
a
would
pretty
be.
Well, that's what
big
I'm
bluff.
saying. But even if it does, he's going to push back because they already have a settlement. But the other piece is what if I go in there and see if I can just use my skill set as a scientist to try and work him, get his sympathies, and start working on the puzzle together.
Well,
Well,
ask me
we
the
haven't
questions
even-
you want to ask me one at a time. I heard ladies say something first, so let me have ladies first.
Sorry, I've already forgotten what I was going to ask.
You were going to ask, what have they done with it so far? Or was that GOP? Or what does it do? One of you said, what does it do? Right?
That was me.
Was it? Okay. Uncle Banjo says,
Yeah.
what do you mean? What does it do? Look at it. Meaning he has
doesn't
no
know.
freaking clue what it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's fine.
Call him on it.
Okay, so
Understood.
all right. I asked him. So this other buyer, did he come down from above like we did, or was there perhaps some other way through the tunnels?
Yeah. I'm not going to make you make rolls anymore because his
Yeah.
interaction with you is way below your ability anyway. So he's speaking very freely with you now, and there's no one here to stop him. He says that they didn't want to let the general population above know of what they found because he doesn't know what it does, but it's clearly something important. I mean, Jesus, it's gigantic, right? Piece of technology, and they didn't have enough money just to buy it, the lot, right? And they were kind of thinking about who they should they talk to, and they were talking to this alien who does a little bit of black marketed stuff that people wouldn't normally approve of, and he mentioned the Faustians and had them in contact with him.
Finder
This is
C.
their claim. This is their claim then.
They want it to be, they just don't have the money to pay for it. Yeah.
Oh.
Those broke people.
They're broke ass miners, yeah. Dumbass
And I
broke
can,
miners, yeah.
and we could safely assume that the Faustians will just commandeer this situation.
Well, you know the Faustians well. These guys clearly don't. You didn't see a Legionnaire mark amongst them. You know right well the Faustians never keep their word. My water's boiling. I'll be back in a second.
Okay,
Someone gets
so
nice.
What do you boil water for? Are you making tea?
probably.
I'm just asking, guy.
Every show he makes coffee.
I mean, oh, he makes coffee. I never knew if it was tea or coffee.
Okay, well,
He just said he's
anyways,
boiling water.
yeah, Bill, if you want to, when he gets back, if you want to kind of check over this thing, see if you can figure out, how it works, and I'll assist you because I can speak the language.
Oh, I'm certain it's going to be beyond me. The thing is, maybe slight chance just because if it runs on the same energy system, but I can figure out anything. But I'm thinking, like I said, the thing is we need to put a wedge between him and the Faustians, and then we're going to have to take out the Faustians. So we don't have to take them both out because one or the other we got to take out.
But remember,
I don't want to have to kill this guy.
Well, I know, but all this area is owned by that one dude. Like,
no, he doesn't own the area. That's the problem. This is too big of a claim, right?
No, this was part of who's the business guy? I had his name written down.
No,
yeah.
Bowman does not own this. He does not.
Oh,
No,
he doesn't.
He does not. That's very clear from Uncle Banjo that he wanted to make a claim. They just don't have the money because for something this size, they would have to throw 100,000 at it, and they just don't have that money amongst them anywhere near it.
Yeah. Who would make that claim? Who would they give that money to?
To the council.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we represent the council, according to Banjo.
Yeah.
We can show him the badge.
You could. I wonder why they
And
gave that to you.
Mhm.
yeah, and we'll say, hey, we can work out a deal. I'll cut you in, and we can pay the upfront fee for this. We've got that much and more now
Well,
after a month of service.
Yeah, that is true.
plus, honestly, if we're just getting this space to assist the council in their business, anyways, I'm sure they're not going to charge us an arm and a leg for it.
Right, but also keep in mind, you guys are a couple, at least a couple of you guys, or if you, most of you, well, everyone but Tower. You're not stupid. And
Hmm.
therefore, you know that once it's known what's here, making a claim to this, you would definitely have competitors coming in, Bowman particularly. There's no way that this wouldn't be hotly contested. I mean, look at it, dude.
So we need to go into the council, buy it first before anybody else knows about it.
That which is what they were trying to do, right? But they just don't have the funds, and of course, they're not smart enough to try to make a deal with the Faustians to do that ahead of time. The Faustians themselves probably would never dare to do it because the thing with the Faustians, you all are going to have a very negative impression of them anyway. Simply because you've
Hmm.
spent a decade fighting against them a lot, and technically, the Faustian Enterprises is a independent company, but everyone knows they are directly connected to the Hellnix consortium. You know this, even though it's technically not official. But you also have other opinions you have of the human Faustians, is they are basically, from your point of view, lotus eaters, right? And
Hmm.
so you don't, and a lot of people, and you've seen many Legionnaire here, right? So there's no way the Faustians could come and make a claim, even though legally they could. But the general consensus regarding Faustians is very negative.
All right.
So let's make
Okay.
them a deal. We'll front this, um, and represent them. We're part of the council. We can be his backers, and then we need to get a wedge in between him and the Faustians.
You show them the badge.
Yeah.
Well, I'm working out the plan. Um, but yeah,
We're just government type people either.
Yeah, no, I get
yeah.
what you're
But
doing.
as soon as we start muscling in, we could have a firefight here in just a second. So
Yeah.
it's just a matter of
Wait. You know what? Wait. Hey. Well, for one, we have the means to contact Hillman or Hill. What was it? Hillberg or darn it, I'm brain farting on his name.
Central
Well,
Um.
control.
yes, you could contact Hilburn. You could do many things.
Yeah, Hilburn. Okay. Well, no. What I'm saying is we can make claims through the app as well. So we don't have to leave to do it either, but we can also contact Hilburn as well.
well,
But
honestly, if this guy hasn't made the claim because he doesn't have the money, let's just make the claim right now and buy it.
yeah, I mean, do it as quickly as possible. Why not?
You could.
Yeah,
All right.
let's make
Then he may
make the claim.
call us out on it because he knew we came over here to investigate something that was harming other people.
And we'll give him 1/6 share.
Well,
That's
you can have a conversation, see how he reacts. That's fair. But yeah, no, you can do that, and you're not too far away to be able to interact with the system. So you do. This is outside of Bowman's area, so it is uncontested contested space. And
Okay.
sure enough, just like Uncle Banjo said, this size of a claim would be 100,000 credits.
Okay.
And there's a system to do that. And like I said, they don't have micromanagement type of government going on here. We're inspectors, and you don't have that. It's just you make your claim as long as someone else doesn't own it, right?
um. I'll look over at Banjo and like, so how much did they say they were going to give you?
They said 20%.
Of what they sell for it.
Yeah.
How would you like to be 20% permanent owner of it?
Well, that would be great.
You want to shake on it? I'll show him my badge. We can make that happen right now.
Yeah, with GOP here, he's like, absolutely. He grabs a hold of your hand and enthusiastically sells it, shakes your hand, and then he goes back to his scowl. You guys,
Okay.
by the way, are feeling more irritated, by the way.
Okay,
Um,
let's complete the transaction and get out of the influence of this thing.
Okay.
Irritated. Irritated.
we gotta.
Okay. Well, so Bill is making a claim on this, which, like I said, you can do. There's no reason not to, and it's one of the reasons why. So the Imperial, I just say Imperials, but the miners here have gone so far underneath because most of that was claimed by the first people who came. So they got to dig under, right? And that's what
Mhm.
this is the same example of. So you guys are now the owner of this space, and honestly, the way they've gridded it out, it's a little bit more than this. But but yeah, you own it.
Okay.
That's a
Now
Now
we
we
oh,
have
need
you're gonna
to
go that direction. All right,
no, but
well.
now
Oh,
we need to evict the Faustians to get
you
them off
do.
Plus,
our property
yeah.
and put in a call to the Liggett and have him send out some people. We'll sell this to him at double what we paid for it.
Well,
Well,
yeah. We.
you gotta contact the IIA right now.
I
No.
don't think we could even get a hold of them this far down.
Yes, you could. You're still connected to the network, and the network is connected to the Imperial system. You could, yeah. That's one
what
So
thing
about
I
we're
did
Well,
with
doing it
this is I
20%?
made communication technology very kind of easy and universal in this campaign with
oh,
this.
here's another thought though. If we do bring this up to the IAA, perhaps they've seen something like this before. Perhaps they can assist us in shutting this down.
Well, yeah, just
well,
tell me what they're
perhaps you
doing.
just need to perhaps you need to just shut the fuck up and listen to me.
Oh,
Okay.
Sorry, that's the effect of the
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Nice. I like. It.
we need to get these jerk offs off our
Pay
land.
you four pieces of arm, leg it or whatever. Whatever.
I can hit him
Why
with the
can't I be
afterburn.
mean?
Well, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that, lady. What is it you're trying to say?
I was gonna refer something about his physiology, but I couldn't do it because Connie can't be mean.
That's
A
fair.
lady can't be mean.
That's fair. That's
Well,
fair.
look at this at Banjo. Um. Well, now that this deal has taken place, perhaps we should be the ones to inform the other potential buyers that this transaction has already occurred, so you
You're
don't have to deal with it.
you're right. We should. And he immediately starts walking down the scaffolding.
Wait. Where are
It's all
Oh
they?
right.
no,
So,
he's determined. He's gone.
Let's back him up. Go get Billy Bob and the rest of the crew.
oh wait, no, is he going? Oh, I was saying we go, not him, but he's going to
Yeah.
do.
He's Uncle Banjo's not so smart. GOP.
Get him,
Okay,
Francis. Kick his ass.
Let's back his
we
play.
Okay.
we go follow.
Okay. So you guys follow in, and he goes down a corridor here. 'Cause like I said, this thing is gigantic, right? I mean, it's the size of a government building, right? And he goes down a corridor here. He goes up some stairs, and you know, you guys have. Well, I won't get into that. But you guys go down a corridor, and standing in front of a very, very large door, you see this dude.
That's an ugly motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Now,
Mutants, remember?
you know that you've seen, you probably haven't fought them, but you've seen a Grindin Taskmaster before. These are hybrids. They're half humanoid and half insectoid, right? So this is a constructed being, not like the Grindins who seem to be just an alien race. But these Taskmasters are, there's like freaking legend stories about them of how absolutely badass they are.
Okay, there's legends about me
Friends.
too.
But they're
I
also independents, right? They're not just slaves to one
Oh
race.
no, from your point of view, the Grindin in totality are slaves to the Faustians.
yeah, and they're hive minds too.
They
I don't
are.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
All right, Faith.
Uncle Banjo is walking right up to him fearlessly, and you guys are following behind. And Uncle Banjo says, "Let me see Palance." The Grindin literally growls at him, but he opens the door.
How polite. Thanks, guy.
Mhm.
And Uncle Banjo walks right in. Now, in front of you, as this is a very, very large sliding door. It's gigantic, right? It's almost like what you would see like in a cargo door on an Imperial dreadnought. I mean, that's how big it is, right? But in behind you, as you behind it, as you guys look forward, is a bright room. There's all kinds of weird technology going on in here, Bill. Just you don't even know what to call that thing over there or that other thing hanging from that. You don't know what the hell's going on in here. But this room is full of technology. And sitting in here, you see about 20 Grindin milling
Mm,
around, moving boxes. They're collecting things. They're just working. A few of them are just kind of standing around with their weapons, but mainly they're following the orders of this Faustian. And this is the first time since when you guys were over at the Faustian place, you spoke to a couple of Faustian humans, right? But you don't have a lot of experience with that, right? But you see a Faustian in here barking orders and directing the circus.
okay.
All right. Um,
Uncle Banjo
I'm
goes right up
guessing
to
he.
him.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you let us all in, or just Banjo in?
The taskmaster is just kind of standing, and as you guys go in, he's kind of follows behind a little
Okay.
bit, but he's got his arms crossed and he's just watching.
Okay.
Is that
I was just
the one?
making sure that he
No,
wasn't like
violence doesn't
separating us
kick
from
off.
Banjo.
His violence doesn't kick
Okay.
off. No, no.
All right.
You are here with
Um.
Banjo.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Um. I say greetings,
Here are the
sir.
Grindins, by the way, that are with him.
All right.
There's another hybrid. You see another hybrid. It's not quite a taskmaster, but it's the hybrid's more dangerous.
Okay.
I say greetings, sir.
Well, he's kind of torn because Uncle Banjo's talking about the deal's off and all that kind of stuff, and he's like looking at Banjo, and you say greetings, sir. He looks over at you, and he kind of raises his hand, and as he does that, lady, um,
Yes.
the telekinetic force coming off this guy is substantial.
Red alert, guys. Red alert
You
to the
you
Oh
use
Lannister.
your
yeah.
Yep.
mental ability and say that telepathically, or do you say it
To
out
my
loud?
core group. No, to my core group.
Yes, but I mean, do you say
Yeah.
it or do you use your mental ability to say it?
No ability, say it.
Okay, fine. So this guy's at least a telekinetic at minimum. She can feel it strongly, and as he puts his hand up, you knowing this because this is happening instantaneously. What do you guys do?
Uh, I
Duck.
tell him. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Like I'm gonna try and be diplomatic, but I'm still gonna make the point that uh, you realize, considering the fact that there are so many legionnaires in this facility, uh, Faust being involved, and if Faust was known to be down here, it would probably cause issues for you. And we can make sure that won't be found out in the future.
He's a bit confused. CR6,
Okay.
which is automatic for you, I think, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's automatic.
He curls his fingers down and puts his hand down a little bit. And he's like, he looks over at you. Uncle Banjo is just going off, right? And he looks at Uncle Banjo, and his eyes glow, and Banjo just falls into an instant stupor. And he looks over at you, and he says, "Who do you work with?"
Let's just say you're not the only one with connections down here.
Okay.
But the point is, we've purchased this claim for now, and whatever deal that was going on down here probably won't work out at this point.
Do you actually think the addled brains of the Imperium could figure out such technology? Please.
Well,
Perhaps,
that's not
perhaps
his
not.
problem.
What was that, Tower?
But
I would say that's not his problem. That's our problem.
He kind of looks at you for a second, but he puts his focus back on GOP.
Can I see if I can make heads or tail of anything?
Oh wow, this is all ancient technology. There's nothing in here Imperial at all. I'll give you a roll, but
Yeah.
it's going to be at the top end of it. So CR10, dude, it's really really high end. I mean, if you spend time
CR10.
with it, the CR would reduce, of course. But just on the fly, yeah, CR10, dude.
Okay, so I've got. Do I recognize 0 point energy?
Well, make your roll.
Well, I'm looking on my E's. So I have 0 point energy, physics engineer.
Oh,
I
you do.
spent
Well, that right there
skill
is
points on.
that's definitely one or two,
Okay.
depending on what you spend on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely
Then I
one.
have my power shift for intelligence.
Right, yeah, engineering, all of those things,
Engineer. So that brings it down 1, 2, 3. So that's from a 10 to a 7.
which is still impossible.
Well, yes, it's still impossible, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we're just
you
talking
can get
on the fly here, right?
Yeah. And I have investigative skill. That brings it down to an 8. Or no, I'm sorry, a 6, right?
That's right.
That's an 18.
That's an 18.
you
I've
can
got
use once a day my ease
Okay, which bring it down to a 5.
if you want to. Yeah.
that gives me a 15.
hmm
I have 15 points of intellect.
You could burn effort.
Yeah. I have 1 edge. So if I did 3 effort, that would drop me down to 10 intellect, right?
Well,
Or no?
if you did 3 effort, the 3 would be dropped down to a 2, and then it would be 2 2. So it would cost you 6 points of intellect to drop it a further 3.
If I dropped it a further
It
3,
would cost you 6
that
intellect, yeah, or 6 yeah, intellect, yeah,
and it'd also be it would
which
be a
would bring it
9,
down to a 2. So you need a 6 or higher.
a 2, so 6 or higher. Hmm. Should I use it on an intimidation kind of thing here? Just to show how smart we are in the Imperium.
Well, let's see if you understand it, and then you could try to make an intimidation roll. Although you're not really the guy to do that, but but let's see if you understand it first. So make your roll, 6 or higher.
All right, I rolled a 13.
All
So
right.
that's a hit.
So, excellent. It would have been really cool if you rolled high on that, though. But yeah, you've been working with this stuff for a month and a half, and you're kind of looking around the room. It's definitely 0 point energy is powering everything, obviously, and the matter of fact, the 0 point energy generator in this room is, I don't know, 100 times bigger than the one you saw before, right? It's gigantic. The amount of energy this thing is putting out could maybe power a planet,
Mm-hmm. Oh my.
for a short period of time anyway. And just because you had you spent all that and made your roll, especially with the CR10, I would say that you think that this device is used to somehow because you're seeing a lot of readings on the things, and you've been learning that this computer language that they're using, it has something to do with mind alteration.
Okay.
which is
Everything
a
I'm
huge
just
leap, but you made the roll. So
okay. So I'm going to feed that to via our psychic report to Mars.
Mars.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, yeah, it's all right. So that's the device he has in his hand, I'm guessing, or
I
The
I thought
system.
it was a cool picture, but yeah, this is
Yeah.
a device in his hand. Yeah. Does that not scream Faustian researcher Palance to you?
Dude, it is Jack Palance cyborg futuristic.
It is, sir. So
Dude, I
GMP,
wonder if
go
you
ahead,
can
do your
lick the
thing, dude. Come
hole.
on now.
I know we're not as smart as you are. I mean, of course, we can tell some of this technology, like that mind alteration device. It's very interesting, but that's not why we're here.
I mean, I
He's
built an engine just like
he
this last week.
he is more focused on you, but it's still not high enough to get for you to make a roll. He is put off by that. He's surprised that you would know such a thing so nonchalantly. He's like, we have been here working on this for a week. We have our rights.
Well,
Well,
sorry.
yes, you're right. If you have a claim, of course, I'm sure you've already bought one.
He's
Have you
frustrated.
not?
He doesn't say anything. He's a bit at a loss of what to do. Um,
Show him,
No,
and then
you-
mentally I'll say,
that's
show
not-
him our claim. Shield
Yeah.
Mars.
Here's the issue. I don't actually want to get into a proper conflict with you. And I mean, of course, perhaps you could beat us in a fight, and that would be tragic for one side or the other, but the reality is that others would come later and you'd have to continue fighting, and maybe you'd pacify all the waves, and maybe you wouldn't. But why don't you just cut your losses on this? And there doesn't have to be conflict, and eventually, considering Faust's presence here, I mean, I could see, if they end up winning this particular conflict, you can always come back and do your research again on this spot.
Lady,
Well
are you
played.
doing anything at all mentally with this guy?
Oh no! When he raised his hand up, and I felt that wave of kinetic.
Yeah, but you
last
felt telekinetic energy, not telepathic energy.
I ran into a big golf before too.
Yeah,
He's not a.
I wanna see if
the
it's gonna
legate
go
the legate
aggravating.
has both telekinetic and telepathic energy. This guy is only telekinetic.
So she's able to discern what kind of power set
Of
he
course
has.
she can. Of course she can. Yes.
Well, then he's got no. He's not a Professor X. He's just a.
No. He's a telekinetic. Yeah. And more than likely it's coming out of that headgear he's got on. It's probably not even naturally so.
Okay.
Meaning, lady, use your ability, please, and probe his mind.
Probing his mind.
Yeah,
Oh,
look at mine soup lady.
I'm sorry, but two people are speaking at the same time. Lady first.
I am reading his mind.
Okay, thank you. So just spend your points. This guy is a highly disciplined individual, so you would have to take a few rounds to get deep, deep, deep. But what you're seeing, because of the conversation, what you're seeing is very simple. This guy is not technically affiliated to the Faustian enterprising, project of any kind, particularly. He's a rogue, not a rogue agent, but he's just a Faustian. But this isn't something official from the corporation. This is just his own kind of side thing. He certainly has enough money and influence to have Grindon bodyguards and workers. But this guy is not actually connected to a particular project at all. So he's freelancing himself here.
That's why they couldn't buy it.
Pass this information to Bill, who's talking with
Well,
him.
not
or
Bill. It's GOP. Yeah.
GOP is talking to him. He goes, he's not really connected. He's more like not rogue either, but
It's nothing
he does have
official.
connections
Yeah.
with them.
Nothing
Nothing
official.
official. He has nothing official, so he can work for us.
I was just thinking about that. Well, like, I look over him and
He's
Tell you what.
He's a paper tiger.
Tell you what. I mean, if you were working for Faust, then we might not be able to make this deal. But if you were hoping to, or if you were considering the idea of being more of a freelancer, um, we might be able to find some sort of arrangement here, if you're interested in that.
20% of any profit that comes out of the place.
Oh,
How much?
Oh, you're interested in the profit?
Of course, this technology could be used for anything.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah, but he wants 100%.
he wants a fifth. Sure.
that. You said 20.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah, a
that's a
fifth.
lot.
yeah. But I mean, we're not really using this place to. I mean, we're honestly just trying to get this thing to shut down and to sell it.
What
We're
about
not.
14%?
Stop right there. Point. He can have 0.5% of the power
Yeah.
that could plant, energize the entire and transform the entire galaxy. That's more money
Yeah,
you'd ever know in this flipping lifetime.
this guy is an asset. Why, like, if he's willing to be freelance, if he's not like an ideologue, who's like,
We don't know anything about him. He's as crooked as the fucking blue sky. He's hiring. I mean,
sure,
he's
he can be
crooked.
crooked, but I mean, he might be able to turn a profit for, or he might be able to deliver technology to
Lady,
the.
Yes.
lady,
I'm
because
still in his mind.
I know. That's why I'm talking to you.
Okay.
This guy, his passion, his like 90% of his focus beyond. He, of course, he is a Faustian, so he does have some loyalties to that. But his passion is science.
I would love this guy. His passion is like his is okay. And yeah, because this guy 90% is science. He
He could
wants
prove his. If he could prove his
Yeah.
loyalty to us, we could give him more access. How about that?
I want to be kind of coy about it because I don't want to, because I don't know how the Grindin would respond
Brendan's
to
on
it.
his command.
Oh,
Well, if he orders him to attack,
the
that's
Grindin
fine.
are radically loyal. They do what they're told to do. You know this, being legionnaires. You don't need to make a roll for that.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, if he were to, like, are they more loyal to him as their direct master, or to the Hellnicks, or to the?
To be fair, you don't know exactly how the Faustians control the Grindin.
Good point. I'll ask him again. So you would be willing to change up some degree of your alliances in order to access the technology?
What does alliance have to do with it? Science is science.
Oh,
I like this guy more and more all the time.
all
We
right.
could offer him a spot on the ship to be a scientist.
No, he's not
Oh.
gonna. He's not gonna be our traveling assistant. He's
No,
not
this
that sort
guy
of dude.
wants to stay here and research whatever this is.
Yeah. Okay. Tell you what, we're going to speak with the people that we work with, and if we can come up with a deal, perhaps that might work.
Okay. He's like, I'm certainly willing to listen as long as I can continue my research.
Well, for the
Does he know what this machine is doing to everybody else around?
He's been here a week, and his skills are not that dissimilar in science to Bill. And his because he's talking about it, so it's going to be at the front of his head, and he's unaware of your interaction in his brain because you're not digging deep, right? You're just kind of surface reading. And because he's talking about it, he over the past week he thinks what's happening here is this device is creating a pulse that goes up that pacifies. meaning keeps people peaceful. He doesn't understand why it's needed, but it's what's going on, he thinks. And it seems to be covering this entire valley, which is way beyond the fittings of the pyramid itself. So the whole valley is being affected by this. So it's putting out this peaceful energy, this feel, this emotional peacefulness. But on some reason in the general vicinity of it, the exhaust of the engine that's creating this pulse has the opposite effect. You guys feel more irritated, by the way.
So we could potentially find a way to reroute the
Okay.
exhaust
Oh,
away from the area without shutting down the device.
Right,
Um,
but the
well,
rabbit trail in here.
you have, but to be honest with you, he's kind of already
Yeah,
figured
yeah.
that out. The only reason why it's leaking out is because of that damn hole. Behind this, because he's been here a week, right? Behind this goes out and it vents into a tunnel that goes into an underground geode. And that's what it. So it was already contained by the ancients. It's the stupid rock biters that made it ooze out, right? So this device, you guys have to think about it because this device is rather useful to Wormwood Base because it
yeah.
keeps everyone happy. Is that a bad thing?
Nope.
Mind control.
We can get
Never
Well,
so
it's
really.
many
not that
benefits.
strong a mind control. It's more of a
No.
compulsion.
We can get so
I mean,
much
you can still
benefit.
defend
Just
yourself if there's a third fight. You know, you still kill somebody if you have to.
what I suggest we do is we set up some sort of sealing system
Yeah,
that
just
will
plug that damn
prevent
hole.
this. Yeah, and we'll let this guy work with it as long as we can get approval from the IAA. Make sure that they know he's here and that they can get any information technologically speaking. He'll work with them, and so that's a win-win. And plus, we can show them that we've actually been doing something. And here's some alien tech, or here's some ancient, tech.
So what do you say to
So
him then? Let's move it
In
along
the
because I thought we were
meantime,
going to have a
right.
battle, but I guess we're not. So
well,
that's fine.
In the meantime,
Hey, we saw
I
the
would.
number of people he had go. Oh shit.
We could take them. What
You
the
we
hell?
could.
probably could,
This would
but
be a good
this
fight.
is a better. But
No,
this
it
is a
is.
better
It is a
deal.
better diplomatic solution. It's interesting. That's all. I had set this up as a battle, but hey, more than one way to skin a cat. But so you guys talk to him. He's definitely interested in because he just wants to work at it because he's fascinated by it and he wants to be involved with it. That's his main thing. And he's more than happy to make a deal. Matter of fact, to level up the potential of him being allowed to run this research project. He says, "Please come with me. Let me show you something. You'll understand." So he kind of goes down a hallway. You guys follow after him, and he takes you into a much smaller room. That's anybody who has any kind of directional sense knows this is more at the center of the complex, and he shows you this.
Oh.
And he says,
What the
this is the
fuck?
important thing. This right here is something different. I don't know exactly what it is yet, but it's transdimensional."
We
Oh,
don't want to mess with that.
Reading.
Don't touch it.
oh, this could be bad. Hey,
That is
Yeah, remember, don't be messing with
incredibly
transformational
fascinating.
things.
Yeah, but keep in mind, this device is producing. Now, you don't know why the ancients did this, but it is producing a positive thing, not a negative thing,
true. That
right?
is true. But
But
it's still playing with fire to a degree.
so he says,
Um,
so what do you say? What do you say? Are we partners? Partners.
Well,
we
we need to iron out the terms. So in the meantime, then we should probably just halt experimentation temporarily until we can iron out our terms.
give me a little bit of time to talk to my bosses, and then I will get back to you. All
But
right.
if there's anyone in the entire galaxy who can put this puzzle together, it's you.
Yeah, the dude
We
is
want you
smart.
on.
He is a genius. He really is.
We want you on our team.
He
for
says,
sure.
"Okay, I'm willing to work with that. I'm willing to work with that." And then, as you guys are having a conversation, he's the one that sees it first because you guys are looking at him. He sees it coming from behind. You hear a voice, and the voice says, "Hmm, the legate would be impressed by your loyalty." And then
Get
stepping out
around
of the
guns, Grace.
shadows, coming into he has some kind of tech on it that makes him invisible. But the
Yeah.
invisibility shield is dropping. He steps up and next to you and has a conversation, begins a conversation, and he says that welcome, and he shows you. He kind of just moves his hand over on his chest. You see he's has an IIA clearance of level 10.
Boom.
Oh wow.
He says,
Yender
"My name is
Cole. That's
Yender
a good name.
Cole. Thank you very
Fuck
much."
yeah.
And he says that. Yes, the IAA was curious what you were up to over here, and you've found something amazing. And he's talking to you, but he's going closer to that device and looking at it, and he's like, "Hmm, very, very interesting. I am a field commander, and I can certainly give you a rights to make a deal with this Faustian if you'd like."
I'm
First
surprised,
of
but I'm
all, we
not
need
going
to
to show
find
it.
out if he's affected by that thing or not.
Or if he is who he says he is, because
Yeah.
it's hard to trust a guy with a giant condom in his pocket.
Fair.
Yeah.
You now, lady, as you and once again, I hope you're spending all the points you need to spend, lady. But seeing
Yeah.
as we're not
I'm
going into
down like
combat, it doesn't
15 minutes.
matter, I
Or no.
suppose.
Done it.
You notice there's actually a little bit of resistance as you try to look at the service thoughts, and then it's like as if you're allowed to see, right? You don't.
Thank you.
It's a weird feeling.
Yeah.
But you don't know exactly what this guy is. But you guys do know in your interactions with the IIA, there are a lot of psionics inside that organization. You know that.
They
And
recruited.
they do. They recruit specifically for psionics, which is why they're so interested in Mercedes. This guy is Agent Yender Cole, clearance level 10,
Okay.
field commander.
Uh, well, I give him a bow. Um, very well with me. I'm glad this situation could be sorted out so thoroughly. Um, yes. So as you obviously heard, we're interested in making a. Well. I mean, if you're okay with a deal with this individual, then that's fine with me.
Um, he says, yes, well, of course, we're not going to have any association with our organization, are we?
Of
But,
course not.
however, I think this is certainly something useful. Matter of fact, I think what you're doing here is very useful, and I suggest you continue. He takes his pad here and he kind of goes through. Quartermaster, 100,000 credits just came into your account.
Oh,
Thank
that.
you.
Thank you. That was. I'll put that into our group fund.
Okay. Well, that was the intention. You guys also gain 100 renown within the IIA. Is
Oh,
that? I
that
think
should
that
bump us.
brings you up to level. What is your
240.
level 4, right?
We're at 2. Now we're at 140 points. We now have 240 points.
No. You were at
We should
200
be at.
points. You were at
We
200.
were
You
at
should be at
level
300.
2.
You should be at
Oh,
300.
okay.
Yeah, you should be at
Oh,
300.
okay.
Yeah. So you guys are now level. You have 300 renown points, and you are at level 3 clearance. You have been upgraded. Bing, 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 and that adds to your. How much money were I giving you monthly? I think it was 10.
Yeah.
That goes up to
Yeah.
15. Every rank you add 5,000 to it. You've all making more money. You have higher renown, and he's giving you money, which he specifically says to go toward your endeavors here at the base, not this particular room or this construct you're sitting inside of. Very weird because I didn't. That's not the conversation I was going to have with Yender Cole. I what because he was going
Yeah.
to step in at the end of the fight and have a very different conversation with you. But fine, Do
That's
be
okay.
like that if that's how you be like that.
I was just like, hey, here's an opportunity, and I know my character is just
Yes,
too
how
diplomatic. I should have
did the
just
mad
shot it.
scientists react
I should,
to Yender just showing up?
yeah,
Well, as you can see, I planned it. I mean, he's in the slideshow, right? I did, but I was going to do something very different with him. But that's all right. This works too. Sorry, Tower. Don't blame me that you only got to fight a stupid insect.
yes,
Don't blame me, Tower.
it's me. It's
It's
I
completely my
am
fault.
totally okay with that. Just eventually give me the opportunity to fucking afterburn the shit
dude.
out
I
of
was going to
somebody.
put you in a 20-man fight with a boss and a semi
Uh-huh.
boss.
You know what? You can go practice with the forearm guy back there. I'm sure he needs to practice.
Well, hey,
Now,
two
and all
questions
that
real
Yeah,
quick.
all that math I had to do. Who cares?
if we,
Well, well, I
hey, if
got
we can get him on the surface, I just want to do a
Oh,
low
that's right.
hanging
I'm
fruit
going
with
to
the
take that battle
spaceship.
and put it somewhere else. You know I will.
no, I got
Oh,
yeah. Don't
I
lose.
just
Well,
want to do a low hanging fruit with the spaceship and scorch the absolute fuck out of
I know
somebody.
you do. I know you do. What was that,
And
Bill?
Bill,
pirates when we do it. Huh? Okay.
I think
well,
it'd be funny to do a fucking spaceship burnout on somebody's face.
I will set it up. Bill, you're trying to say something?
Yes.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say, um, actually, these are both not even really relevant. But I mean, we could have Palance put those Brendan in a room for us, and we can go at it. But
No, that doesn't make any sense.
okay, so then the other thing, I mean, Yender there, that's a pretty cool picture, but I gotta say that looks like the Millennium Falcon right there off to his left.
It does. It probably is. I just went
That's
on
nice, dude. It
Pinterest.
looks like he's on Hoth or something,
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I
that's
just
cool.
Pinterest. It has lots of great art, and some stuff is
It's
not all
yeah,
Pinterest. But I like the visual style. I've been trying to keep things somewhat consistent in the visual style, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I think I've
No,
been able to do
A lot
that
of
fairly
it's been
well.
really good.
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
No, this whole place, this whole set tonight, kind of like twists and turns like that because like the idea to buy the claim, I probably surprised you with that one.
well,
You know, I was,
I set the system up, so I got to deal with it. You know.
yeah. I was like, dude, we'll
Um,
just buy this
But
thing.
Bill, you can't complain. I gotta hit something. No
right.
I
more.
did.
Yeah.
I
And
got to
Well,
Because you
hit
had
something.
a chance.
yeah.
Bill should get pissed off at me, honestly.
Yeah, it's
But
okay.
No, actually,
all your ire against me.
Well,
I was diplomatic when I should have just started blasting.
it's fair.
Okay,
But
they sent this guy here because they hadn't heard from us, though.
exactly, and they're all just
Exactly.
keeping tabs because they, I mean, obviously in your brain because your characters aren't dumb, other than Tower, but which he role played really well, Tower.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But
I
Makes
no,
try
him
to
like a
be.
dumb character.
I'm incredibly smart, talented pilot, but everything else for 3 brain cells.
yeah, no,
Yes.
I'm just joking. I'm playing off what you say. But you guys aren't stupid. You know that, of course, they're not automatically trusting you. I mean, why would they? You got to earn that respect, and you have been. You've earned 300 points of renown with them. But this guy was just a minder put on you. But that's fine. Now, the only thing it would wrap up with this is, this guy found the plants. He's, legitimately wants to research this. So, I mean, that is a part of the dialogue I was going to have, but it was going to be more of the outraged mad scientist instead of the deal maker. But whatever.
well,
But
he's not getting 20%. He's getting 2. So
well,
fuck
you
him.
can work out that later, and you have GOP, which is cheating. But nevertheless, as far as the claim has been made, now you can go have a conversation with Hilburn and kind of discuss what's happened here. Keep in mind that Hilburn knows that you are retired Legionnaire Recon. He knows that, but he doesn't know that you're IIA. He doesn't know that, right? Not that
And he
you
doesn't
know. I
want to
mean,
know either.
why would he, right?
He
We're out
doesn't.
here at the
Yeah.
butt ass crack of space. I mean, what would he know about that? But how you interact with Hilburn will start off with next week. And think about that during the week, how you guys want to, because it's your claim. It's not like you have to necessarily tell him anything anyway, particularly, but, or maybe you do want to, because that device is affecting the entire valley. But like I said, in a good way.
You
So
just need to get somehow, some way, get what you call the exhaust of the
No,
device
we
contained
can just
by plugging
put
the
up.
hole. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, as far as the miners, and as far as being in the facility itself, that's just going to take a little bit of engineering. And between Palance and Bill, if they spend, let's say, a week on it, they can figure out a way of protecting those who are working in it.
Yeah,
Of course. I mean,
that's what that to me. That's what's important right here, right
yeah.
now.
So you guys can deal with that quite well. The thing is,
Yeah,
Palance has only been
yeah.
here a week. He's just been here a week. So and it's clearly a new tunnel that the rockbiters had opened up, and the miners found it. So okay. There's that. Any questions? No. Okay. Well, awesome. Thank you all very much. Perfect timing
Orange
here.
juice.
So let me come back over the other side here, and let me bring this up. There we go, and stop doing that. So and bring this up real quick too. See if anyone said anything. We got Dave. Yeah, no, it's fun. It went very different than I expected, everybody, but that's okay. That's role playing, and I do find it very interesting that this campaign particularly is a very non-combative one. They're doing a lot more role playing actually, which is interesting. And it's not a bad thing at all. But it's very different than we're used to. But I'm kind of liking it and I'm digging it. But nevertheless, that was an interesting campaign to give us a little bit more insight into what's going on in this area. And a little bit more insight into the ancients' thinking. And I should come up with a name because GOP actually knows the language, so he would actually know what they called themselves, wouldn't he? We'll let GOP come up with that, so I don't have to think about it.
I like
Oh man,
eek-a-cock-a-geek.
you might regret that decision, but
Okay.
you already
This is
agreed to
what
it.
I
do.
like.
I do.
Listen, this is what I like. Eek-a-cock-a-geek.
Yeah, but they're not Grindin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll get into that next week. So interesting. Thank you all very, very much. And of course, for all you guys here, just make sure you pay attention to your character arcs. Did anything pop on that? If it's any kind of questionable thing, just ask me. But in general, you do what the character arcs say.
I
So
think we
any
completed it.
Yeah, so cool. So do that, and of course, during because one thing that's definitely got to happen, Bill, is you guys, which doesn't matter. It's just simply in-game drop. You're definitely gonna have to put a week on sealing this shit up. So we're going to
Okay.
drop a
Yeah.
week anyway, right?
Yeah.
And of course, you could drop more if you want, because it seems that the IIA is very interested in you spending more money at this base and doing more. Maybe they see you as a base of operations, even.
For the
So
future.
for the future, yes. So yeah, we might even drop a little bit more than a week next time. But like I said, that's just simply you drop whatever time, and that's it. It doesn't really take much role playing time. Nevertheless, thank you all very much, and we'll see you next time. Later.
Peace.
Goodbye, everybody.